No.
I'm working. What are you talking about?
I'm about to say, giving Rob credit though, as he stated, he's more prepared than I am.
Are we
Yeah.
live? Yes, we are.
Mhm.
I
Beautiful.
think there's a button that says live up in the
I did. I
corner.
was in a different tab. I was
I,
working.
I pushed it.
I literally, literally was on a different browser tab as I was chatting with somebody at work in Romania, telling them to get something done because I need it for them to have it done in 3 hours when we meet,
Romania.
or 2.5 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is.
So if you need it in 3 hours for them, would it be like
It's still 3 hours from now
it's still 3 hours?
Okay. 3 hours from now. Okay, not
because
3 hours
because
relative.
the salesperson who needs the contracts meeting with the customer today, this morning in the U.S. time. So
Cool.
we're going to bounce back and forth between multiple time zones here. But yes,
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
It is only. It's 2:32 in the afternoon in Cluj, Romania, right now.
Okay, that's not bad.
Good morning.
Yeah, that's why they work. My team works from 11 a.m. their time. They start their day at 11 a.m. and they work till 8 p.m.
Izzyverse Comics NYC. Good morning.
There you go.
Rip 'em.
Now this is Will Ospreay.
Evil Comics. Good morning. Good morning, Mike.
Mm.
Flash 6792. Good morning. Good morning, the other Robert.
Morning, Durs.
Collecting with Durs. About to head to work. You dudes have a banger day.
Yeah.
Heart YouTube, Durs. Heart YouTube.
Mm.
Flash Ray videos. Good morning. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. Rob, tell them about that mug. Let's tell people about the mug. We're going to tell people all
This
about
mug?
the mug.
This mug?
That mug.
The 2023 Comics Curing
Mm.
Cancer mug.
That mug.
Well, that mug, just like this shirt, which happens to feature on the back, also the 2023 logo.
You had me scared for a second. I thought he would like show, and you could get these underwear.
Underwear.
No.
Yes.
No.
Underoos.
We tried that, but with the kind of underwear that Rob wears, there wasn't much fabric to put a logo on. Wasn't a lot of fabric to work with.
Or because of my gargantuan size, there's a lot of fabric. It looked like you're putting it on the side of a fucking
Due
sail.
to your size, it was a shockingly small amount of fabric. Shockingly small.
These items and many more like them can be had on fatstacksmerch.com, where 100% of all proceeds go to Comics Curing Cancer. So you can support Comics Curing Cancer right now and wear around and show people, let people know how much you support Comics Curing Cancer.
Okay. Three good nerds.
Hey, three good nerds.
Good morning.
Now, all three nerds watching
C3 every video until the event. That's how to do it. That's how to do it. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we've been doing that. We started that this week too. Over my channel.
It's a good week to start it. It's definitely, if you haven't started it, there's no time like the present. Next week is just as good as this week, just as long as you start it. That'd be fantastic. Cliff on Comics, what is going on, brother? What is happening?
November will be a little bit late though, so
November's
don't wait.
Late.
Don't put it off too long.
Or unless you're getting ready for next year's Comics Curing Cancer.
Then you're a little early, probably. But hey, or unless you're doing a year-round donation of your funds to Comics Curing Cancer, like I do, in which case then every day is a day to talk about it. Oh, gosh, golly. I don't even know what happened this Wednesday on the Dynamite because like I watched the first match, and then I watched Don Callis come down to the ring to start the talk. Boom, that was it. I was out.
It's all about WWE this week.
I've been a pay-per-view guy, like it's been just a strictly pay-per-view guy for like the last 3 months now. Like just life's been so busy, I haven't been able to do it.
So they started hyping up for next week, which I will be present for. So the Grand Slam is happening next week.
Ash, is that the one? Ash
Arthur or
Ash. that's about only 40% sold out.
Yeah, they're actually doing BOGOs.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
event
so
is this? There's Izzy.
it's Grand Slam. It's the one that they do every year around this time.
Grand
So
Slam 3.
yeah, it
That's
is Grand Slam.
AEW, right?
Yeah, so the big match is going to be Claudio versus Eddie Kingston, which is a good local match, but there's also MJF, and I think it's going to be Samoa Joe.
What's the deal? Why isn't it selling well? Is it just too much too soon?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that. And they didn't advertise this. They always advertise this show at least a month and a half. So by the time we get into All In, we already know the show's happening, and it's already assumed that it's happening because seems to be a Tony Khan thing where he likes to be in the same place for the same venue. So every pay per view is pretty, with the exception of maybe one or two, but like All In is always in Chicago, and Grand Slam is always in New York, and of course now All Out is gonna, well, All In is always gonna be in UK, all that crap. So the tickets went on sale silently. They didn't make a big announcement for it. I didn't even know it, and by the
They
time
don't
I found
promote
out,
their stuff the way they WWE is a promotion machine, and so they build up the matches all way in advance. They do all the build up the storylines, and they announce the sales and all these things. But AEW, they like stealth launch ticket sales. They don't build up the matches until the last minute.
Yeah, it's the excuse they have is that they don't know if someone's going to be injured, which seems to be a common problem that they have with these pay-per-views.
Hence, it's called card subject to change, and you adapt accordingly. But I mean, you still got to build up some hype. Come on.
Yeah, they did Jade Cargill dirty, but then again, she's leaving, so they did her dirty. They made her she makes a return, and then she's gonna have her title match with Chris Statlander at Rampage in a tape environment. But by the way, by the way, the results are in, and she ain't winning. Spoiler, because she's leaving.
Is she now?
Yeah, no, that's it. It is very, very much in the know that she's gonna leave.
She's going into the Wii.
She's going to the land of opportunity. And I think they'll do her really well because she has that look.
Well, that's it. You know, Vince has gone into this world of the same things that he used to do with men. It's like, I want the giants, the massive. So that's why all of a sudden you get this nothing but Nia Jax coming back, and Maria and Raquel, whatever. I'm hot and ready to talk about comics, says Burke Family 54 Comics.
There you go. Yeah. But the merger happened. That was a big deal. And now everybody's getting fired today.
Well, office people, yeah. Especially.
No, not just office people.
I said, but especially.
A lot of the office people.
A lot of the redundant backstage.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody gets a bonus in the, on the other end.
Me too, Burke. It's Friday. I got a Mountain Dew.
I got this Mountain Dew in me.
Yeah. There you go.
You got to read it with pizzazz. Me too, Burke. It's Friday.
So,
I got this Mountain Dew in me.
Who was the actor who did the Mountain? Was he inside of Aggressive Relax?
Oh, it wasn't an actor.
Oh, okay.
That's a true story.
Well, Burke, what comics do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Green Lantern issue number 87.
I have one of those.
Green Lantern 3?
What's up, baby? No, not Green Lantern 3. Green Lantern number 87, which is a very topical book right now. And I think it's just a little bit more topical, not much more, but just a little bit more topical than number 59.
Yeah, that one I think is.
For those that don't know, Sir Robert of the Fat Stacks is really expanding his collection to hold some true value now. You can see some of it behind him, but if you follow him on IG, you'll see that he's finally moving over to real key comic books.
Do you
Wow.
have do you have that Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Neil Adams one?
No, not yet. Not yet.
That
This
one
one,
is amazing.
You got to get the one with Speedy.
So I have a long list that I've built up of books that I want, and I'm just being flexible and picking up books when I see them at the right price and kind of going with the flow.
I
And
can confirm Rob is in fact flexible. So there's
Tyler,
really like
it is
two
great
Green
to hear
Arrow,
your
Green
voice
Lantern
again.
ones.
It is great to hear my voice.
It's
I
been
hear it all the time.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I said again, it's been a while.
Here I am.
There he is.
Here I am. Yeah.
What's that?
Tyler, tell us about what's new in your life, man.
I don't
Don't
don't know.
like nothing.
Yeah, nothing really, I guess.
Don't
But
even
I mean, basically, we are on strike now, but only kind of. It's called like a new stand-up strike, where only we're partially on strike, and they're trying to maneuver things around to okey doke the company, and it's working surprisingly.
It's pretty funny. So the strategy that what is it? The UAW,
Yeah.
which is like
United
what?
Auto Workers.
Yes, for those that didn't know, Rob just informed you. They went on strike at midnight last night, but they have this really impressive strategy. So 2 hours before the strike, the president of the union went live in a little press conference that was posted on social medias and stuff, and announced that as of midnight they're going to be striking, but the entirety of the union is not going on strike at once. He wants everyone to be ready, and he named the 3 units that will be going on strike at midnight, which were like 3 very specific units. And then Tyler informed me that right before it was time to go on strike, he actually changed which units were going to strike without telling the company. So the company, who had 2 hours to prepare, started moving parts and this and that to try to get around the strikers, actually moved everything right to the strike.
Yeah, so it was actually the day before they leaked the 3 places that were going to strike. He leaked it, and so they started moving them to. It would have been like 48 hours ago, and then last night they changed it last second on them. So they literally delivered like truckloads of engines to a place with no one there.
That's fantastic. I told
sounds about
Tyler
right.
that the president of the UAW sounds like the Mandarin. Like you'll never see me coming.
That sounds like
this
a
guy's
wrestling
like,
organization, though.
instead of displacing all of like I get it. Like instead of displacing all of the union and doing like that's more moving parts. If you can strategically hit specific ones and get your point across and get results, that's awesome without having to move the entire nationwide union at one time, you know. That shows a level of organization that should rattle the company at the very least.
Yeah, it's definitely a different strategy. It's a new strategy, never been done before. So it could be good, could have some kinks, but he's saying that as time goes on, just more people are going to go on strike. So
Yeah,
Well, we're going into the fall of strike now.
yeah,
because I would think that the problem with that strategy becomes is like the workers that go on strike, they're the ones who aren't making money, while the other guys are still doing a job. It creates some animosity within the union potentially.
the only reason there isn't really animosity, at least specifically from that, is because there is still some strike pay. And there's a lot of people that really do go support others on strike. Like they'll go out of their way. I remember when we were on strike 4 years ago, we had people driving from Michigan and Ohio and Illinois coming and helping us out, bringing food to the union hall. People, it was basically just like a big dinner party every night of just people getting together at the union hall because people really didn't have a lot of money. And it was just a lot of local people too, who people at GM support throughout like the Fort Wayne area where I am would come and bring stuff to support us while we were striking because they know how we support the community so much.
Bert said he's going to strike until you show us your tootsies. But now that we have the writers on strike, the actors on strike, we have the Tylers on strike. Cliff, who's next?
Well, my wife's union just barely looks like they're averting a strike, just barely. For the city workers for the city of San Jose, they were fighting over some stuff. Right now, it's almost done, but they got their stupid mayors trying to do shit where he's claiming now in order to try to spin it bad for the workers who haven't. Right now, they're like 60% staffed. So these workers have been working like for years, multiple because they've been on hiring freezes during all these.
I thought that the entire state of California was on strike. I mean, I see all these people outside.
Well, that's just called a hot mess.
and that's just a 3-month vacation. What are you talking about?
That ain't no vacation for nobody. Let me assure you.
So they've just been, overworked and everything else, and that's they're claiming that that those staffing positions that they haven't filled have been budgeted for. So there's been budget and money for it, but the mayor's claiming that now we're going to have to cut these social welfare programs and popular programs in order to pay these mean workers who want to get paid a 5% pay raise because they haven't been given a pay raise in years. And
pay your workers.
Wow, 5% too. Like it's like.
Well, they wanted more, but that's what they're settling on, right? And it's like, and it's crazy because like one of the biggest problems they have, my wife says that their city is there's a lot of the positions. Not only are they understaffed, but the problem they're understaffed is because they go out and they're hiring tons of people. They hire them, they train them, and then the people, once they're trained, they leave and go to other cities that are paying significantly more. Yeah. The only people who stay are people like my wife who've been there for so long, where their pension is so high, and some of the cities don't roll in the same pension plan, so it's like you lose all that you've built up. Whereas my wife goes, like, she's like 10 years away from retirement. She's all, yeah, it takes an act of God for me. An awful lot of money for me to leave. So
yeah, that's how it is in my job. I don't work for the union, but the people I work with work for the union because it's a government job. And everybody I know is like, how long you been here? 20 years, 30 years, 35 years. And then you have this other influx. How long you been here? 3 months, 2 months?
Yeah, that's
1 month.
It's
literally
different.
like that.
Well, it's very different because I don't have a union job. So my job is got high turnover. And so it's like in our workplace, it's like every time I turn around and somebody's like, how long have you been here? And I go, I've been here 9. When I say I've been here 9 years, they go like, Jesus Christ, how is that possible? Everybody I've met here is like, I've been here a year or two. Well, apparently I'm not salty enough to drive people.
What's new with you?
Well, okay, I didn't want to interrupt, but I got so much to say. Number one, thank you for wearing a flamingo shirt, Mark. Number two,
that's what Mark wears like a lot.
I know, but it's only a recent thing for me, and I really enjoy it. Number two, who was your special little guest, Mark? Because we did not get a proper introduction.
He wants to know about your wiener.
Well, that's the Abe. Animal wiener. Anyway.
Yeah, that's Abe.
His name is Babe?
Abe. A-B-E. Because if you stand him up, he looks just like Abraham Lincoln.
That is hilarious.
Tall and lanky, yeah.
Well, he is adorable.
Yeah.
You said who's striking next, and I was like, did we forget about the nurses on strike? Did that like escape us?
Yes, we did, because we tend to be pretty healthy around here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the comic book community online is a bastion of health. It's all
fitness. It's fitness every day, right here, baby.
Oh yeah, we definitely work out hard.
You know how much ab workout I do rolling this little chair?
No, but
like the way you roll that chair. Yeah. You want to talk with the nurse as well. Mark,
Cliff,
hello, nurse.
Channel mascot who sits behind me on my shelf.
Oh, I did not see the flamingo. with the
I
beach
moved them
ball.
down from here to here when I got all this other stuff. I'll put them back up here for you.
That is so funny.
Mark is basically a flamingo.
Yeah, there's flamingo stuff everywhere. Like
I
it's
mean,
my
you ever
spirit
heard?
animal.
You remember Chicken Boo from Animaniacs?
Yes.
That's Mark, except he's a flamingo. You wear a disguise, you look like human guys, but you're not a man. You're a flamingo dude.
Look at this thing. This thing's cool. People just be giving me flamingo stuff.
I haven't heard an
Or
Animaniac
it.
reference in years.
Well, there you are. Just to prove
What?
that I am old.
That's
You
because
can
you
watch,
have to
you
be,
can watch
you have to
newer
be-
episodes.
I tried watching the newer episodes, and whatever reason they haven't
It's not the
clicked with me.
same.
But yeah,
Because it's the same guys. It's the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, and everybody else was shafted.
yeah, exactly. Which is,
I need Slappy Squirrel.
yeah, they really should have. If they, I don't know, they really should have rebalanced it, right? Like it should have been like the Animaniacs, and then the second half is somebody else. Or if they wanted to like stick to their money makers, one half is Animaniacs or Pinky and the Brain, and the second half is somebody else.
Freakazoid.
They did do it. They did do an episode where all the older characters did come back, but it's not the same. But it's not the same. And Tiny Toons is coming up this weekend, so I'm curious to see how that goes. I love Tiny Toons.
I thought
Oh,
they
it already
were
came out.
strike.
No,
I am.
they're not aging.
A new Tiny Toons thing. Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of bringing back some of this stuff. I'm filled with trepidation. I will hand it to Animaniacs when they came back. Like the first episode, they're like, "Let's do a song about everything we missed," and that was great.
That was good.
That was the one thing they nailed. Was like let's cover every topic from when we were canceled to now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on trying to slowly, amongst other shows I'm watching, I haven't watched any of the reboots of Futurama, so I'm working on right now the first or second reboot before the current, so I can get up to the Hulu reboots.
The second reboot is actually a bunch of their movie specials broken into episodes.
Yeah, I noticed that, that's fun because I think that's what I'm on right now, and that's not bad.
No, but it's not great. The Hulu one this year is probably the best attempt.
Cool.
I'm not sure it captures all the magic, but it's the closest.
I'm definitely working my way there. But the problem is I'm also watching rewatching all the episodes of Enterprise, and I'm trying to watch a crap ton of wrestling, and for some reason watch YouTube and all that. And somehow
I don't know how you do it. For me, Enterprise would be the first to come off my list. You know.
Well, as it's been so long since I've actually been enjoying it. I've been binge watching like three episodes at a time here and there. I'm watching maybe 3 episodes a week, but I've been enjoying it. It's actually not bad, and I didn't not like it when it came out originally too. I really did actually kind of like some of the concepts. I mean, yes, it has its serious flaws in its thing, especially with some of the way some of the characters are written and portrayed, but at the end of the day, it was something that was different. I liked the concept of, hey, before there's any of the rules that basically were established within Star Trek of how first contact and all these things, let's just go straight cowboy. Hey, buddy, here's a ship, go out into the wild, wild west, have fun, and watch them step over themselves and trip and fall and do all these different things. The only thing that's the worst about that show is that that ship should have been blown up like 35 times. Because they're always outgunned and always.
And it's funny because like I that ship exists in.
That's where I'm at right now. AR. I just kicked off like episode. I think I'm on episode 4 of season 2 right now.
But like Enterprise is like so weird because it exists in a now slightly modified timeline because of the events of First Contact.
Yeah, but it's still, look, I'm a Star Wars fan, man. Time is and Doctor Who. It's all timey-wimey, right? It's all.
Oh no, I get it, but I just
Yeah.
they ran with it, and I was kind of impressed with that. But yeah, like I love Archer. I love what they did with the mirror universe in that series. You know, which
I
only
just
compounded things they could do with the mirror universe
right.
for the Paramount
I
series.
felt that the mirror universe has become a trope for Star Trek. They should get away from it. But the one thing I always worry about on that poor ship is that Beagle. Man, that poor Beagle trapped in that little ready room. Where the hell does he go to the bathroom? What the does that Archer's room's cabin smell like?
I'm sure there's like a little doggy box thing, and like the computer like destroys the matter that doesn't need to be there.
But
Oh wait, no, actually that would be next generation level technology. You're right.
Right.
I'm sure there's like a little doggy box, and Archer's got to clean it every night.
But it's like, beagles are not necessarily known for being low energy necessarily. They need to get extra. Where's he walking that dog? Only every once in a blue moon he takes it down with him to some alien planet, but for the most part it stays in his cabin the entire time. What a horrible existence for that poor Beagle.
Isn't that a Snoopy though? Snoopy's a beagle.
Isn't that a reflection of how most of us treat our animals, unfortunately? No, not you guys. You guys super love your animal friends, but I mean, like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I've got this tiny 2-room apartment, and my German Shepherd lives with me," and I'm like, but you see it, it's there. We know it exists.
I think just because of what I do for a living, I see kind of like the best of dog owners. Because like every day I see like countless dogs.
People don't want to leave it home by themselves. They bring it to the dog daycare.
It's only the people that are willing to spend a lot of money on their pets. I see that's what I see every day of my life.
Oh my god, my one buddy at work, he pays for the doggy daycare, and his dog loves it. And we even call it doggy school. I don't know when we came up with that, but the dog got kicked out of the first doggy daycare.
Ooh.
Because he was so high energy, right?
Oh, I thought he was bullying the other doggies.
Well, he was bullying the other dogs. He was trying to take charge, and at first it wasn't a big deal because most of the other dogs enjoyed it. But then this border collie showed up and was like, you're half border collie. I'm not taking this from you. And that was it. It was over. It was over.
The world collide.
Mine doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't like when we go to the place we go for daycare or for grooming. Doesn't like it. It's like a struggle to get her in the door. But once she gets like 3 steps inside the door, she's fine. But for whatever reason, she just like every single time, it's like, oh my god, you gotta almost trick her to get her inside or carry her in or something. But yesterday she really didn't like us because she went over and got groomed, and she hates getting a bath. So it was like when we go to pick her up, it's like she's ready to run out the door. So it's like, let me out of here. It's like, my goodness, girl, that traumatized. I didn't like torture. No, it wasn't water torture. It was just a freaking bath, for God's sakes.
For all you, that's what you think. They're in their rag over her face.
Maybe waterboarding her. Could tell me about that squirrel you saw the other day.
Where'd you hide the bone? You have it.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, basset hounds need that. They got, it's not like you're bathing them all the constant time. You only bathe them like once every 3 to 4 weeks. But
Izzy, why are you tormenting us? And why is it autographed?
Why? So the autograph you see in the center is Adam Kubert.
Yep.
And I am donating this book.
Very nice. To Comic Screen Cancer?
You got it. So
okay,
yeah,
I mean, you could have donated it to the local battered women's shelter for all I know.
Well, that's true. But do you really want to give this to the local battered women's shelter?
I was just saying,
I thought that it might be inappropriate, maybe, but I mean, who knows? You are from New York, so allegedly.
Oh wow, we're not known for that. We're known for other things.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got battered men here in New York too. How dare you, sir?
So there's also this one here. This is a nice one.
Arthur Adams.
Nice.
But wait, there's more. You got a nice. You got a Arthur Adams signature.
You got a signature in me.
And
Look
you
at that.
signed that?
Oh no, some guy named Arthur Adams signed it. He looked like the guy I figured it was, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't.
It was Artur
It
Adams.
was Arturo Adam. So those are two donations for Comics Curing Cancers on my behalf, and there'll be more to come.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
We do have for your show right now. So I got a couple people who've expressed interest in coming on with you. So I'll send them your way.
Awesome. So being that you mentioned it, let's. I guess we're gonna bring it up.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So on part of our lineup Friday last year, you may remember, I, for some strange reason, hosted a sketch drawing show, which is an awful idea because for anyone who sat through and suffered through it to see me draw something, knew that was probably a mistake. And somebody out there, I have the last laugh on because somebody actually paid $10 for this silly drawing that I made. Or what we can barely passes as a drawing, I should say.
A Fat Stack original?
Yeah, it was a Frankenstein monster that I drew. But anyways, but Izzy this year is going to do a special version of the sketchy show. He's going to have some community artists join him and do some sketching over a 2.5 hour period, and then make those items available for purchase, so you can watch them be created and go. And I know that Roscoe has said that he would love to join you, Izzy. And Naman, the comic bookworm, has also said that he'd love to join you.
So I'm this weekend. So yeah, definitely. And we might have some more people. I'm talking to a couple of people, industry guys.
Very
so we're
nice.
trying to see if they're available on a Friday afternoon.
Rob, you better be on there.
I may be lurking around. I'm not going to be drawing. I'm not.
Well,
I'm not.
you gotta draw. What about that extra $10?
I brought in people who can raise more than $10.
That's $10 that Comics Curing Cancer isn't gonna get if you don't draw, Rob.
And then what's actually
I got
great
some
is
sketch cards for you.
I just confirmed last night. Then what we're gonna do, like Friday after DJ Links, for those insomniacs out there, the Insomniac Theater will be doing a session, and they're also gonna do horror themed drawings. He's gonna get some of the Insomniac artists on.
Oh,
they're
just
gonna
type of Halloween, right?
God,
Right, exactly.
that's gonna make it go about 24 hours straight if he's going.
Yeah, he's gonna run from midnight until Whack Comics at 7 a.m. Eastern.
Oh my lord!
That's his plan. So
I got so this weekend I saw CJ. As I always do when I go to a show, I usually see CJ all the time. Saw Naman. I missed a few people. We didn't catch up, but it was an amazing show. As far as attendance go, it wasn't as great as other versions of Baltimore Comic Con, but I did get amazing interviews. In fact, I'm going to do an interview today. I'm going to record an interview today that you guys get to see soon on the director of Overstreet Access, so the app that they've launched. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Yeah, it's not a mobile app right now, so it's a web browser, and it's still in the works.
That's a mistake. That's one thing I keep complaining the cover price about is, well, why the hell do you why don't you make this an app?
So there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of fun stuff. We talked a little bit, and we'll talk some more about it. There's an actual app that's out there. I don't know if you guys saw it, Wacom. I put a short out in it because that's all I got from it. That one seems to be a nice fun app. So I got a lot of good stuff going on in the weekend though. But the best part is I did get to talk to a couple of my friends here and there from the comic community, the industry, in fact, and a lot of people are interested. So I got to reach out to them to see what they're willing to offer and what they want to give. So it's awesome. Part of it was to see what I could get and who I could get for C3. So more to come because there's more shows to come.
Super Pen Difficlus. Yes, Stephen C. Good morning, Legionnaires.
Got the Hulk.
I only think of the Legion of Superheroes whenever I hear this. I'm like, when I hear Legionnaires, we are Legion. I was like, oh.
Well, we are Legion, sure, but when I hear Legionnaires, I think of Legionnaire's disease. But that's just
wow.
Now, I'm fortunate that I was exposed to Legion of Superheroes before I knew about the terrible Legionnaire's disease.
I did not know that was a disease.
Mark just walked into
Like,
that one.
why did I sit down for this?
I'm on strike against the Legionnaire disease.
Well, there you are.
That's what it should all be. I don't know if any of you at all watched the last Council of Comics, but I was like in a hot debate over, the Drew Barrymore thing and like why is it so easy to why is it so easy to like point a finger at her and and then of course my lovely colleagues being like, why would you defend her? You don't really know her. And I'm like, why do I have to assume the worst of her?
What did she do or not do? What's the
Well, her show is going back into production. They're not using writers, and basically she's like,
you mean they're not using SAG writers?
No, they're not using writers.
They're not using writers at all, or they're not using SAG.
She's claiming it's like a news. She's a news story. She's a news program as opposed to.
I'm not familiar with her show, so I didn't.
Well, it's
like Ellen.
It's a daytime talk show. It's the same thing.
Right. So, and that's an interesting move on her part. However, the part where I sympathize with her, and I might get talked into the same thing, like her crew, they have to support themselves and their families, right? And they are not working.
Bill Maher's about to go back to work.
And but I mean, look, everyone has their choice, and everyone either is at the top of the food chain for their show or in the middle of the top of the food chain for their show.
In terms of all that, this was an interesting week too, because there's a lot of people this week, and that's what a lot of the SAG-AFTRA was reporting on, is how people are starting to tap into the financial support stuff built into the SAG-AFTRA union, but the people tapping into it have no business tapping into it. And there are people that really shouldn't even be there. And there are people that are like giving the SAG-AFTRA a bad look. Like I had that talk. I think it was on this show where someone's like, the average pay for the people in the union is like $40,000 a year. I'm like, no, it is, but the vast majority of people in the SAG-AFTRA aren't full-time writers or actors. They're Romanians like Rob, or they're kennel workers like me that do acting gigs as extras and stuff on the side, but they're out there pretending like I can't work because we're on strike and I need a fair living wage. Like, no, you have a fair living wage at your career. This isn't your career. Like, this is your hobby. Like, so the people that are hobbying this stuff are the ones tapping into it. Like, this guy had to get his renter's assistance paid because he's an extra worker and he can't get, like, dude, go get a job. Like, there's this one lady who, like, there's a lot of footage of her that went out this week who's literally like explains herself as an extra worker and how she's having a hard time paying her bills and it's like, thank God I have a 9-to-5 I can fall back on. Like,
oh, Jesus.
You're not falling back on a 9-to-5. That's your job.
That's your job.
And she was talking about how like the money, this is my passion though, and if I can't afford to chase my dream, like nobody can afford to chase their dream. Like that's something you have to plan for. You have to strategize around. That's why it's called a dream.
Or you take a risk.
Yeah, it's a risk.
Our media is like so terrible with every single freaking issue. Like, let's focus on these people who are a bad look. Ignore the vast majority of people who need to benefit from X thing that we're arguing about, and we resolve nothing and we continue. I mean, like I keep looking at the calendar, and we got nothing. We got nothing coming, and we got nothing good coming.
It didn't used to
for
be
2 years.
The problem is
they weren't portraying these people like in a bad light. They were trying to like lift up the strike and point out the negative impact of the wages, but you can't do that without using poor examples, because there's no such thing as like a good example of a struggling like professional right now, because these people make like the professionals in the industry, there's not a ton of them,
No.
like there's a good number of people, but the good number of people make good amount of money. Like the actors and faces you know and see and stuff, they make good money. You can't use them as examples.
You know, but also like they're okay. I'm going to use someone as an example, and it's probably going to not work. But so I know a guy who worked on Vice for HBO, right? And he makes excellent money. He makes good 6-figure money, right? But with the strike, I mean, his life is completely upside down because he also lives at the status of that 6-figure salary, right? So him and his family are now he's subletting his super fabulous New York City apartment where they would normally live, right? That's sublet. They're hanging out in his sister's house in New Jersey.
That might be the worst part I've heard yet.
And like,
yeah, that's rough. Jersey's rough.
So, but like, and he's been commuting.
Biggie Shaq.
He's been commuting to do a friend of his offered a side gig. I can't remember the side gig, but not in the industry, of course, right? So he's been commuting for that, but like that gig is only paying tens of thousands of dollars, you know? And like, so like, I mean, by our standards, it's like, it's not the end of the world, but by like his standards, his whole world is like upside down.
So in reality, we talk about the writers, we talk about the actors, and this is where Drew's coming from. It's the people in between that, right? So
that's what I was hoping you were going for.
Yeah, the camera people, the hairdresser, the makeup. These people are not doing their jobs, and yes, many of them are in fact full timers. Right.
Well, they're not part of this union, so they're not. Their union's not on strike, but they have no. But they're a.
And that's what y'all touched
collateral
on.
damage.
Yeah, exactly.
There's hundreds of people that go into making these talk shows a reality when you only see like the one person on screen.
Right.
Catering.
The writers, the least of them. And I pointed that out in a comment section where Bill Maher said that he's getting ready to go back to work, and people were like, "Oh, the weak link." What didn't he? Like, yo, are you serious? Like, for one. He doesn't need writers. Drew Barrymore doesn't need writers. These people have worked in the industry. They are creatives. They can get out there and like do the thing without someone telling them you should say this joke. That dude's got jokes. He's had jokes since the 80s. You know, like Drew Barrymore, I'm sure can come up with jokes that aren't funny to me, but someone will laugh.
She got dimples.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's America's sweetheart. She
can
do no
wrong. About, her diamond ET.
She's taking a beating as America's sweetheart right now.
No, I will.
Yo, what's funny is all these people.
I adore Drew Barrymore. I don't care what you say. I grew up with that.
Dad
girl.
was great.
Yeah, don't look hard on her. She is the fire starter.
Listen, I love her, and I've got a great story with her that involves hide and seek. Because it's so great. So my ex, no, she hid behind my ex-fiance. So my ex-fiance Mateo had this he was the manager of a restaurant on Houston Street in the city, and her brownstone was somewhere in the neighborhood, and she is playing hide and seek on the street with Justin Long, right? And I'm just like hanging out on a table inside, and Mateo's there, and he's like, "Do I see Drew Barrymore?" And I'm like, "What?" So we get up and we're like looking, and we see them running, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "That's Justin Long." So I go back to my corner restaurant. It is not a big restaurant. It like seats like 30 people, right? So anyhow, she runs in, right? And Mateo's like kind of like setting the tables up front. She runs in and she's like, shh, and she hides behind Mateo. Mateo's 6'5", right? And so she hides behind him. And she's like, and he's like, "Drew, what are you doing?" You know? And she's just like, shh. And he's like, "Please come back and eat." He's like, "I'll make anything for you. We can make vegan food for you if we have to, Drew." And then she said, "Thank you." And then she ran off. And he's got so many great celebrity stories from that restaurant. And he's in Miami now. It's not the same. My other favorite was Scarlett Johansson was in the restaurant once and left her laptop. And but she was there with Jared Leto, and it was so weird. But she came back for her laptop, and she's leaving, and she's very grateful. And she gets into her car, and her car has the magnetic bumper sticker on it that says, "I'm not Scarlett Johansson, but thanks for the compliments."
Yeah, Drew has bad choice in men.
Well, this current guy, right? Like father of her kids. That's kind of working, right?
None of them are me. I don't know what you're talking about. They're all
Oh,
awful.
well, Rob, I mean, if you love someone enough, you need them to be happy, even if it's
I
not
have
with
suffered
you.
through almost every film that girl has put on celluloid, and let me tell you, there's some of them that are really truly suffering.
Listen, Ever After is a magical classic, and I won't stand for anything.
I don't have a problem with Ever After. I was thinking more of riding in cars with boys, and
so you need the Drew from 50 First Dates. That's the Drew you need. The Drew from 50 First Dates.
Yo,
that
now
way she can constantly forget you.
50 First Dates is the one I have beef with. That one is the one that's
I like Wedding Singer better, but
yeah, I love the
agree
Wedding
with
Singer
you.
better.
Wedding Singer is definitely better.
yeah.
You don't like 50 First
Blended
Dates?
50
I didn't say I
First,
didn't like it. I said I liked Wedding Singer better.
yeah. And I still kind of like 50 First Dates, but it has aged poorly. That plot at the beginning where Adam Sandler admits this woman that he gives women drinks that they think are alcoholic, so they end up to go to bed with him. I'm like, that is so mega cringe. I'm like, oh, you've aged poorly, movie. You've aged poorly.
Lower your ambitions.
There's a lot of things that don't. It was a different time. Remember how our parents used to tell that about our movies our grandparents were watching? It was a different time. Just let it be. Well,
like
guess what?
That's like the reverse Cosby, though. So
that's like reverse roofies. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's
I know, but still, just him admitting to it.
Drugging them. He said he refuses to drug them.
Right. He's like, no, I just let you think. And I'm like, oh my, it still sounds terrible. And it's not the worst. There are much worse films. But you know what? I'm with you, Rob. We shouldn't change them. They should be there for us to look upon and be like, wow, this was considered culturally acceptable and hilarious back then. Oh my.
E.T. was her best role. I don't know about that. It was the best role for
you know what I would like to see? I would like to see him do a remake of Three's Company and see how that works.
Ooh.
Just think about that one.
Well, who's going to play the blonde?
What about All in the Family? It would be today's Carol.
All in the Family was definitely a different story, but I think that one's one of those shows that it was meant to be that way.
That one was. I mean, because I grew up with All in the Family, and I really, I really enjoyed the other. Not long ago, they did the live act. They did the before live.
Yeah, the live action.
And Woody Harrelson, I think, was doing it. I thought it came off real well. I mean, look, I don't, it's like you watch those shows, and I always enjoyed the interaction amongst the characters more. I didn't, at the time growing up, I didn't understand a lot of stuff to do. But it was funny. Is like they introduced, even though Archie was very much set in his ways and not the most socially, politically correct progressive character, but there were a lot of lessons that were that he learned. That was
the point of
throughout.
It
it was throughout.
They were being a very progressive show by showing you the reaction to it. Archie was the reactionary. That was a ridiculously smart show, and it ages really well.
No, it does. It's and actually, it's sad how well it ages. I was like, oh look, this argument existed then. Surprise, everybody!
Yeah.
The gay character that they had, who was a drag queen that saved Archie's life, like that was hysterical, and I loved that they had this character on the show, and Edith having her crisis of faith because this character was killed. Like that two-parter breaks my heart every single time. And it's Christmas time too. And she doesn't even want to go to church. And it's Michael, who is essentially an atheist. He is the one who has the conversation with her that snaps her out of it. And like, I mean, I just get emotional thinking about it. I mean, that is like some of their best writing on that series.
JB is in the building.
Whoa, JB.
Wow.
We love you, Jay. I know you didn't win, but that's okay.
You were robbed. It was rigged. Oh, wait a second. You didn't win? Get out of here.
Just because he wore the
blazer
t-shirt.
Well, you know what you know what it was is they were going to let him win, but then they found out that when he looked at his Instagram feed, that what he's been doing is basically seeing all the books I was opening, and he was going and getting like one grade higher.
Well, he came in. He didn't even come up second place. There was two winners. so pretty
What are
much.
you rubbing it in now for? I mean, come on, he's the winner in our hearts.
Oh no, I gave him love when I saw him come out storming out. I gave him love.
Is that why you're shitting on him now?
No,
To
I love
balance it
Justin.
out?
He does that because he's
Yeah.
in New York.
All right, I feel bad. What did Justin not win?
Ringo Award for
So the
Ringo
Ringo Award
he's a
is
letterer.
Anything.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Life.
He literally writes for a living.
No. He hasn't lost
Lottery,
at life because
Ringo
he
Award.
is the owner of an amazing Fantasy 15, so he definitely hasn't lost at life.
No, so Justin should jump in for this one. But
He's
pretty
got
much, we got so the Ringo Awards are held every year at Baltimore Comic Con. So there's an award ceremony. Justin was nominated, as well as some other people in the industry that I know that are part of the community. But it is a major award, and unfortunately, he did not come on top. So
I bet you it all came down to that fucking sailboat, Justin.
I was hoping you'd win. You did get a meatball sandwich.
not just
you know,
any
the
people.
winner,
We got
of,
a crab
the winner of
sandwich.
the category was the
Justin.
Justin,
Yeah,
it was all because of that goddamn sailboat, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
But-
sailboat panel did you win, bro?
But they
Justin
had
is Ringo nominee.
First off, how's my audio?
You're good.
Delayed
I
from your
think.
mouth.
I can hear.
And
I
we
can't
can hear
you
ourselves.
also.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not good.
No headsets. Get your headset.
This is why I always wear cans on my head. People always wonder why, Rob, you look so different with that headset on your head. But you know what? I never have problems with echo and everything
You look
else.
different with the headset off, not on. You look
Yeah.
different. Yeah, that
Yeah,
looks.
that's
Oh,
weird.
wow. Who is that guy?
You look like
That's
an
not
infant. That,
Rob.
like, you cover you in Vaseline, you'll look like a newborn. Like, look at you.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that an
not the
Oompa
round
Loompa?
right now. It's
Speaking
like
of covering
Superman
in
and Clark
Vaseline,
Kent. Like that is a completely different person.
yeah, speaking of covering in Vaseline, Hoarder's Hide is here. What is going
Whoa,
on, Scott?
hello.
How are you today?
Is it fragile?
It can be.
Fragile.
It can be. You really got to know how to work it properly.
Must be Italian.
Well, if it's Italian, I got to assure you, it's usually pretty good quality. I've got a 95% success ratio in that area. And
They're just emotionally fragile.
not all of them, but the 5% loser, yes, fragile in every way. So that was terrible.
Look at you. Headset on now. Ready to tell us about that, how that sailboat panel did you in?
It's because I'm not 70 years old drawing ninja bunnies.
Well, why not?
Oh, who won?
Have you thought about being 70 years old?
And drawing ninja bunnies.
Yes, I just turned 40 yesterday, so the thought of turning 70 has been on my mind for a while.
Well, happy
Let me tell
belated
you.
birthday.
It's closer than we want to think about. I'm so sorry, Justin.
So you lost an award and turned 40 in the same week. You are really losing.
Yeah, it's nothing is coming up Justin lately. That's how.
Well, just go back and pull out that AF-15 and caress it and go, but I have you.
Are you ready to sell it yet?
No.
Sell
How
it
long
to the
do you think
winner.
you'll sit on it before you sell it?
When's Heroes Con next year?
Heroes
June.
comes in
Father's Day
June
weekend.
14th.
Okay, so if it's June 14th, you should probably talk to me like June 12th.
What's your next goal? Or to upgrade the grade on it, or you got something else in your targets?
No, I still need an ASM 1. So
Because I know,
You
like,
do.
just watching you shift gears from the toys to focus so hard on
Right.
this and how fast you achieved all this, I can't imagine. Like, I don't know how it is for everybody, but for me, like, there's this massive, like, the hunt aspect of collecting. Like, if something is so easily obtainable, like whether it be an AF-15 for somebody or something else for somebody else, so easily obtainable, it doesn't fill that void. Like, it's great,
Mhm.
you got it, but you want to hunt something else. What else?
It passes the hit from it does pass quicker, but right now it's like one of those things where when you're looking at these bigger books right now, with as many people who had acquired too much when things are going up and decided are now selling when it's not a great time to sell for the stuff. If you're in the market to buy, I mean, it's the reason why I've knocked out as many of the ASMs that I did this year as I had no intention of picking up more than 2, but I picked up 14 of the last 15 I needed because the pricing on these things and this whole summer of keys is just because I've been able to get incredible deals because there's a lot of really motivated sellers, people who just have too much inventory that they're looking to sell. And, as
Or
a
they just
buyer,
don't have enough.
I often have choices. It's like I'm like shopping people, and I'm sitting there going like, and this is great when I'm sitting there. If I decide, okay, this is a book that I'm really looking at between eBay short boxed, the internet or IG sales and some other stuff, I have a lot of options on what I can go for, and price checking things against each other, and of course keeping in mind that, well, if I go on IG, oftentimes I'm not paying the sales tax. At that time, of course,
I think
of
next
course,
year is gonna
just
be
for the state of California who might be paying attention, of course, I declare those items on my individual sales tax and pay our tax forms and pay that at the end of the year.
Can you imagine how cheap comics could get by next year if like we keep trending the way we're trending, like not just with comics, but just life in general? Because
Well, Taylor, you say that until it tanks further, but there's different segments, right, that you're buying in. Like right now, Golden Age is on the ascent, whereas for a while, when I was buying that stuff, that was down. That was the region that nobody was looking, right? So I was buying Golden Age there. That stuff's going up now and holding very steady right now. That's where people are looking. Silver Age has been, even the big keys are coming down. That's now silver and bronze. That's where I'm picking up stuff now as well. It's down. It's all about finding.
To be fair, silver's
that is.
been down for years, and I've been sitting here telling people to shop silver, but it finally just expanded over to more stuff. Like it's
Right. But I also do stuff like when I look at stuff where I pull the trigger on a book, I'm not looking. I don't. I will stare, especially on bigger books. I'm looking back a couple years at what the pricing was, right? Because books are still up from where they were 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
They just had a big spike in between. They've come back down on a plateau. But if you eliminate that spike, it's still the curves on these are still relatively consistent.
Yeah,
So,
because before the spike, they were climbing up, so they're going back to that level that they were in. So they're still
right.
going to
So
be
it's
climbing.
finding where is it, where does the book fall in these things? And so, look, it's a lot. It can be a lot of different, how detailed you want to be as a consumer. But if you want to pick up a bunch of stuff and not overspend and want to try to get back, that's what happens. Some of my books are worth less today than what I bought, last month, but not significantly. And since I'm not turning around and selling them right now, I don't care. Dollar cost averaging, right, Justin? That's what you told me. It's all about dollar cost averaging your portfolio.
That sounds like something I would say.
Yeah.
And if people are only interested in the flipping side of the market, then like you just follow the old adage: buy low, sell high.
Yeah, but for me, I was just about acquiring some great books for the collection.
Oh, I'm right there with you. There's like
that way I can see Justin. I have
I'm
more than
trying
you.
to move.
It's all about me having more and better stuff than Justin.
Well, you got to hunt down your Amazing Fantasy 15, Rob. Like that's the goal.
Well, no, actually, that was not on my list though.
The AF-15 was
It's
on.
all about me It's all about me finishing my ASM run before he finishes his ASM run.
Okay, so Rob, you finish your ASM run. I know you're working on a Batman run. I know that much. But will you go for the AF-15 once you finish the ASM?
I really, an AF-15 really would be a book that would just fall into my lap type situation. Mm-hmm. It's at a price point where I have a certain. Right now, I am not prepared to go to the price point that an AF-15 commands for a book. Now,
this is all smoke and mirrors. Rob's watching them as we speak.
Maybe when I'm done paying for college tuitions, maybe my attitude changes. But right now, I remember I'm showing up.
You're going to school?
I'm paying for 2 different college tuitions right now
I've
for my
known
kids.
you a couple of years now, Rob. There's one thing I know about you: is your attitude doesn't change. You're just Rob. You're just
Yeah, when you're showing out close to $50,000 a year in tuition, it comes to crimp on your collecting.
Rob, what I really want to see you start doing is writing a little bit, like in comics, and you need to get nominated and win a Ringo Award before Justin Birch. That's what I want to see.
Well, I
what
wouldn't
he
do
should
the
be
writing
doing,
because I'm not a creative person.
but
However,
that'd be the
what I
best part.
could
He
do,
writes it.
if somebody gave me a script, I could letter it perchance
No,
because that I
but
don't think
better,
requires much skill whatsoever.
write the story. Write the story. Have Justin letter it. You both get nominated, but you win it for writing, and Justin gets
And
nominated
then on
again.
top of that, I'll become a tracer as well, and I'll get an award as a tracer.
Oh, the inker of the year.
I think that the only way you need to win a Ringo for lettering before me. I think that is the only solution to this feud, this blood feud.
So Justin, what did you actually get a chance to look at the award? Because I remember seeing it, and it was very awkward looking. You got the consolation prize?
Well, so technically, I did win one.
Mhm.
As part of Something Is Killing the Children, since it won Best Series.
Yeah.
I'm thinking eventually I'll get one. It's just a plaque. It's just
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, zoom in on Justin so you can show it to everybody. I just want to see it again, if that's okay.
Yeah. See right there. That's all it is.
Look at, yeah. So that is the Ringo Award.
Yeah.
Wait, we got about to zoom in.
Oh, it's like see-through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I've been
Looks like
using
a
it to.
it looks
It's
a little
really
bit
weird.
like a
It's not
wrestling
even shaped like a ring at all.
ring. No,
I've been using it to prop up books.
but it is like a wrestling ring.
I think that would be great. Is they should make the Ringo Award should be a ring that you get to wear, like a NFL Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
No.
You know
No.
like a
Something
Hall of
gaudy and it says "Look at me, look at me."
I would try 10 times harder than I am right now if that was the trophy. Like just a giant ring.
That ring.
Yeah. See, I'm all about the ideas.
And just
That's
have
an idea,
Ringo
man.
and just have Ringo Starr present all the awards.
Or it could be like your own dynamite diamond ring, and you can just go around like knocking people out with it.
Oh man.
I know a guy.
If
I
we
know a
weren't-
guy who wants that.
If we weren't live, I'd say something right now.
You get all the rings, and you
in
just
other
hold it
words,
like
Justin
a
has
Super
been
Bowl
Justin
champion.
has been practicing his lettering by writing a list of people that he will knock out as soon as he has that ring.
No.
He's like, no.
It just says Dustin over and over again.
Oh goodness gracious!
How was the crab cake?
You know, not as good as previous years.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't as impressed with the food this year.
I had a nice burger. That was awesome. So
I gotta say, Maryland serves up some fabulous crab cakes.
yep.
Like,
Well, it was a restaurant's crab cake, so that probably answers that.
I always wondered how the hell my wife was born in Maryland and does not like seafood. I was like, how do you come from a coastal town
it happens. It happens.
and not like seafood? I mean, I understand when you're born in the middle of this country and all you get is river fish or frozen fish. I totally get that. But when you get fresh ocean fish all the goddamn time, how the hell do you grow up going like, no, I don't like fish?
So there's a lady in my job who orders food that comes directly from Maryland because of how good the seafood is, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not a seafood guy myself, but yeah, that Maryland seafood is.
We got lots of it here. You know, obviously I go to Fisherman's Wharf, and you know we got. Well, right from us, we got three different major. You know, between San Francisco, you got Fisherman's Wharf there, and then we're up North Bay, Discovery Bay. You got there's a capital for clams, and then of course you go down to Monterey Bay, which has got a huge ocean seafood cannery row, stuff like that, Carmel, and It's crazy, but
Yeah, there's a lot of spots over here in the Northeast.
actually, there's a great restaurant. We used to go when we go to Discovery Bay. There's a restaurant there where they filmed some of the birds. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds there, and so they have all this stuff there, and you can go there, and it's right on the bay, and it's just amazing seafood. It's just great.
And a lot of birds.
No, surprisingly not.
They got rid of all the birds because of the movie. Like, no. You can't come here.
They're like, they need to go. They're a secret little terrorist.
This is a no-fly zone, please.
Yeah. So at the Bay, I wonder if they have a KFC.
You know what? There's KFC.
You probably should have said Red Lobster is a better choice.
Oh,
That's where they have the biscuits, right?
Oh yeah,
I don't even
cheddar
they're
bay.
salty as hell. I don't understand why people love those things so much.
Well, because I don't eat seafood, so whenever I go there, that's all that I have that I can
He
eat.
just gets the basket. He just comes to the cheddar biscuits.
Like, there's some places where I know if I'm going to dinner, I have to plan on like eating before or after, and like, what can I do while I'm there?
So you're a
don't
big
want to
fan of
go on your
Olive Garden. You're
phone.
the only person
Yeah.
on this planet who loves Olive Garden.
But I'm like the guy who likes Olive Garden legitimately for the same reason everyone else does. Like
The only
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
Breadsticks and
unlimited soup
Yeah.
and breadsticks.
It's
I
because
love
when you're
it.
there, your
Your
family.
family. But
Well,
also,
I don't know.
That's
who
not a
you
reason to
think-
love it.
I don't know who you think isn't
Italian
loving
restaurants.
Olive Garden, because every time I've been forced to go to one, it's jam packed, and I'm like, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
well,
Cliff,
Olive
let me ask you
Garden,
this.
like
have you
Italian
ever had
restaurants,
anybody
Mexican
tell you
restaurants, they're
that
real
they
easy to
love
do that.
Olive Garden for something other than the breadsticks and salad?
Yeah,
Anyone ever-
I have a friend, and
The
he
soup.
loves the fried ravioli rolls, the appetizer. He's obsessed
Oh, an
with.
appetizer. Okay, well,
Yeah,
We're
You
back
know.
to salad and bread.
nobody loves the entrees. I've never met
oh
anybody
no,
who
he
raves
also
about an
enjoys.
entree.
He's a big fan of the tour of Italy. This guy, you know, and like I've made real food with him, and he's like, "Oh, that's really good," but he won't give up Olive Garden. And I'm like,
Wow. Okay, you
I'm
have the
like-
one friend on this planet then, because I have never met anybody who's willing to say that they love the Olive Garden food.
Who
other
has
than-
"Yo,
room for
Scott just wrote the
entrees?
saddest thing I've ever seen. I'm
Olive
too
Garden
poor
is-
to know what Olive Garden is."
Olive Garden is just like the Outback Steakhouse of Italian food. It's just
Out-
a
no,
franchise
Outback
Italian.
At least
Steakhouse
Outback got some pretty
edible
good
steak.
food.
They got
I
an
didn't
edible
say it
steak,
didn't,
and
but
their
I mean,
lamb
like, it's
chops
just-
are actually really
'Cause
good.
their chops are good. I love their kookaburra wings. I love their wings.
But they don't have
Grilled wings are
unlimited
awful.
Blooming
breadsticks.
onions.
Ben Parker, I kind of respect you.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I live in California where chain restaurants are king because freaking everybody immigrates, comes here from different places, and they go, it's what they know. None of us
There
like
you
them.
go.
We all
There
complain
you
about
go.
them, but that's where we go all the damn time. But I agree. Some of your best food is going to be obviously your independent mom and pop shops. Those are great.
Yeah, let's
I
let's
mean,
go here.
nothing beats my kitchen. I mean, you know, the
Yeah,
only thing
doesn't
is that
Olive
I was
Garden
going to
just
do the
get
cleanup.
Stofers?
What's that, Mark?
Isn't Olive Garden stuff Stofers? Like a lot of it.
I have no clue. I don't eat there.
Yeah, you do. But I remember like
We all do.
I've gone there twice. Okay. The first time I thought,
Three.
okay, let me try this, and it was garbage. And the next time I went there, so let me try a different one, see if I'm wrong, and it was still garbage. And
Yeah.
it was like when I even asked him, like when we were asking one time because we had salmon. I said, "Is the salmon Atlantic salmon or is it fresh salmon or Pacific salmon?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know." Well, can you ask the chef where it's sourced from?
Why would you
Like I-
tell a 15-year-old waiter, "Hey, where's the salmon from"? Hey,
Because it makes a difference. Because Atlantic salmon is mostly farmed and it's crap fucking
he
fish.
just wants his tip and he's gonna spit on the
But-
food for flavoring.
Izzy's point is they don't know, bro.
Thank
You're like the
you,
one
Izzy.
person
That's why they're
weird
supposed to
that's
go
weird.
ask if they don't know.
I would have laughed like, "Who the fuck are you, Gordon Ramsay? Eat the fish." And I just walked
I
off.
mean, Rob, be honest. You're in Olive Garden. I mean, like, what are we
My,
supposed to do?
my
If you ask
assumption
me
was that
I'm
it was
like, "What is this
Atlantic
undercover
farmed.
boss?"
And it
No,
was.
it's not.
They said,
Rob, I wish
Jesus
I could remember
Christ,
the name of the
sounds
company.
like
There's a fantastic Norwegian Canadian cooperative that does farm salmon, but they have these gigantic nets. They don't overcrowd them. It's one
feed
of the
them
best
natural
salmon I've
food
ever had in my
of
life.
instead of feeding them garbage food.
They don't feed them garbage food, and they
Thanks,
do it on the
Olive
coast
Garden
of
has
Canada.
That's a good point. They
Don't
have cooks.
don't inject them with freaking
You
dye to
want
make them
you
pink.
want
Yeah.
some sauce? Here's some sauce for you.
This is a good point. Like 90% of the restaurants people eat at don't have chefs; they have cooks.
Yeah.
They're just hired cooks
True
that are
story.
just.
Okay, fair
This comes out of this box. It goes on this thing for this amount of
Wear
time.
this hat and you're okay. Now you're a chef. Just make sure the hat is nice and tall.
I get.
Y'all have
yeah.
Carrabba's. That's another Italian restaurant that I think is like it's definitely above Olive Garden, but not by
Much.
too much. But it's they have like an open kitchen that you see from the dining room and stuff, and the food is definitely better, but it still has that chain restaurant feel. You know what I mean? You still get a coaster that vibrates that tells you when it's time to go to your table.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, I give them to the kids and let them fight.
The fish market I was at the other day because it was shutting down. They actually their system they didn't give you the coasters. Instead, when you checked in, they gave you them your cell phone number and they texted you when your table was ready. But they were shutting down is because the family, the owners had passed away, and the kids had inherited the restaurants, and they had battled through the COVID times with it, and they own one of the restaurants. They own the land under in San Mateo. Somebody offered them $45 million for the land.
Wow.
So they said, let's see, should we take the $45 million and shutter our family's restaurants, or should we struggle through the restaurant business and hope that someday we can make some profit? Well, that was a no-brainer.
Into an Olive Garden.
No, it's probably going to be an office building or some apartments or something. But I don't care. I don't blame them. I miss. Although I love that restaurant, it was a phenomenal. It was actually just simply called the Fish Market because it was part fish market and part restaurant. But it was always great fresh fish. But
Do they have unlimited breadsticks?
That's the important part.
no, sir. But they gave you San Francisco sourdough bread instead.
I don't care.
Is it at least shaped like a stick?
No.
And you know what's funny? The way Rob's delivery was like as unappetizing as possible. It was like San Francisco sourdough bread. Like it was like, wow, it just sounds like it reeks of disappointment.
Really, I think that's the best goddamn sour bread there is San Francisco sourdough bread.
Man, you gotta deliver it with more passion, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, we're so passionate about Olive Garden.
I save my food passion for when it comes time to talk about my barbecue or talk about my meat.
Talk about yourself.
I love talking about meat.
When I talk about my meat, that gets Lisa excited.
Like chicken nuggets?
Meat always gets me excited, Rob. Always.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the store this afternoon because I got to pick up a chuck roast because I want to smoke that bitch because a chuck roast is like so
Fantastic.
beautiful. Or when you smoke it, it comes out like brisket, but you don't have to cook a whole brisket. When it's just like my wife and I, it's perfect.
My best chuck roast recipe is a slow cooker recipe. Believe it or not.
Fine. Only it's 6 hours on the smoker over oak wood.
Yeah, no, right. No, mine is like it is
crock pot,
seared, and then it is simmering in my wine sauce for 6 hours.
Wine sauce.
Yes, I use a Lugano white wine sauce that I prepare.
Thank you very much for that, Flash Ray. I actually do have ooh, that reminds me. I need to take the starter out of the fridge and feed my starter. It's been 2 weeks since I fed it.
I've got a sourdough starter. Oh my god, I'm coming. All right, Rob, I'm planning my California vacation around you.
I make sourdough bread. When we make pizzas, we use the sourdough to make sourdough pizza dough.
Do you have the pizza oven, like the fire kiln thing?
I don't have a pizza oven. But we use the grill and the fire stone and the pizza stone. There's a pizza oven attachment for my pellet smoker, but I haven't decided to. I really want to pull the trigger on that because I'm really happy with the results I get on the pizza stone and the gas grill. Because the gas grill goes.
When am I coming to visit? What is happening? Oh my god!
As Mark, tell him when's the big event.
July.
Yeah, third Saturday in July.
Oh,
That's our
that's
big
it.
barbecue. We cook brisket, pulled pork, chicken,
Ooh,
bacon
nuggies?
explosion,
You
linguiça.
do
We
nuggies?
do the smoked portobello mushrooms.
Chris,
We do
Chris is letting everybody know he's been a member for 22 months. That's how he gets
23
special.
months.
Rob,
Oh, I
if
think
you do
22.
nuggies and have
23. Don't
ketchup
sell them
on
short,
there.
dude.
23, one more month to 2 years. Look at that.
Well, let me ask for Tyler. Can I do nuggies? Yeah, I have an air fryer. Flash Ray. I have 2 different brands of smokers. So the pellet smoker I have is a Camp Chef. The top end of their Camp Chef stuff, and then my other 3 smokers are Weber Smoky Mountains. I have 2 of the 24-inch Smoky Mountains and one of the I think it's a 12-inch, a little small one. Oh, it's a little
Do you
baby.
hear how passionate and serious and sincere you talk about your smokers? This is how we need you to sound when you're talking sourdough.
Right. This is the level that it has to
Well,
be.
when I make my sourdough, I do that on the grill too, because I'll use that in the cast iron.
You
No,
don't
you
even
told
have
me
the
that. I want your sourdough pizza. I'm ready for it. July is on my calendar. Do you not understand, Rob? There's only 2 ways to my heart, and you found it through your cooking.
You don't
Cliff's
even
gonna
have
show up
the
on your
best
doorstep,
George
knock on your
Oh,
Foreman.
door.
in that case, Cliff, we got to get you the video of me spatchcocking a turkey.
Woo! Oh my god, I
Whoa.
love doing that. Yo, it's the best way
And
to
I
cook.
thought it was a comic book
Well,
channel.
especially
Me
when
too.
you do a
We can
Thanksgiving, because
spatchcock a
I
comic.
go up to the butcher to order the free range turkeys for Thanksgiving, and you get when you get like a 23-pound or something turkey, and you're gonna slow cook it and smoke it, you have to spatchcock it.
Wait,
If you do it whole, it just doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But okay, I will turn it back to comics. The first
I just got into smokers.
the
I'm trying to
first
hear.
recipe I ever tried to make from a comic book was Superman and Lois being obsessed with beef bourguignon, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I couldn't like wrap my head around this. Like at first I thought it was funny, but then it kept like showing up, including like crypto, like heat visioning the beef because he was salivating, and Lois was like, no. I thought it was adorable, but anyhow, I was like, oh my god, I want to like make this. So of course I found the Julia Child recipe. Yo, what's up, Black? I found the Julia Child recipe, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm doing Julia Child's beef bourguignon.
You gotta make yourself the baby Ruth cookies from the golden age.
Yeah, but it was delicious.
AR. So I'll tell you that actually, I don't use wet marinades. I use dry marinades on most of my stuff that I do. So like beef and especially for beef, I use a dry marinade where you heavily season the outside and you'll put it in the fridge for about open air for about 40, usually on a rack. So you can get good air around it and put it in the fridge for at least 48 hours. That allows a chance to absorb the seasoning, or it pulls the moisture out of the meat, and then the meat pulls the moisture and the seasoning back into it. That's how I prefer to do that. Although when I do pulled pork, I do inject it with Mexican Coca-Cola. So you can get the pure cane sugar inside the pork. We call it Porca-Cola. And then we still give it our dry rub on the outside. Chicken, I'm also a dry rub guy. Although I have done some various marinades in the past, I much prefer the dry rub method for it as well. Trying to think, is there anything that I marinate really, other than like when I do chicken teriyaki or something? But so no, for the most part, I don't use wet marinades. So I smoke whole bacon wrapped chickens and Boston butts a lot. Yeah, I know a lot of people who like to take bacon and wrap it on things. I've done that.
Good morning, Lee.
Not with chicken.
Good morning.
I tend to do more.
How
I've
are
done
you?
several things where I've taken burgers and I've wrapped them in a bacon weave of bacon and then indirect cooked them. But you got to be careful with all the grease where that goes. When you do any kind of smoking or cooking with bacon, there's a lot of grease, and you got to be cognizant of where it goes before you fire up your smoker or grill the next time. I
Rob,
speak from
who
experience.
Who thinks Rob and I should have a cooking show? Because we need like a comic book cooking channel.
Pure Mexican Coca-Cola sounds like it's like
Cliff goes to California and cooks with Rob.
culinary cooking.
Lee, how you
Culinary
been?
cooking
Mate?
with Cliff and Rob over comics.
And then we get up to Napa to go hit the wine country.
So what you want to do is you want to
Jesus
just
Christ.
rub, and you just keep rubbing the meat.
You always want to rub your meat. It's all about but you can't go too fast. You got to.
I thought we covered it earlier with moisturizing properly
That's right.
and
Yeah.
fragility.
Always like the glove up.
Lee,
Yeah.
how's it going?
I'm
I go
going
through
great.
more gloves
man. How you going?
I'm
I like
going pretty
seaweed on
well.
my burger. That's
Pretty well.
interesting.
We're talking about dry rub. What was the last thing that you dry rubbed?
You,
Himself,
you don't want to know. We
Oh,
we
David
try
Black.
different kinds of things here in Australia. So, but
That's fair.
I'm in the middle of changing my strings, and I'm at the part now where I'm tuning them, and I hate this part because so many times I've been tuning the guitar with new strings. I'm like pulling it up, it's going up, it's almost there, then it just snaps off and flicks me in the face. 2 times it's hit me in the eyeball, and it's never nice. It's never a nice experience.
Did you ever put on goggles?
No,
keeping your face
because I'm
out of
not
harm's
smart.
Fair enough.
Hmm. What was that? Sorry, Mark.
I said, are
He
keeping
said
your
fair
face
enough.
out of the way? Or just
I didn't hear you again.
keeping your face out of the way?
Yeah, trying to keep my face out of the way, but it doesn't matter how far I try and put my face out of the way. The guitar string knows exactly where I am at all times. A face shield might be a good investment, Mike.
It's like a giant tentacle monster.
Definitely.
I like that this is what he does at 11 o'clock at night in Australia. It's time to restring the guitar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
That
My,
seems normal.
Look up the time zones.
Cliff, you know time zones off the top of your head, or did you have to?
Yeah,
look that
no,
up?
I just guessed, so like
That was like pretty accurate. Good job.
well,
Yeah,
I love men and international men, so like I've gotten better at time zones just so like I know who I'm flirting with and at what hour. So like
I love that.
yeah,
Australia is the hard one for me. Europe,
Australia is
because-
really difficult.
yeah,
So
because
you're in
we
India
switch
right
day.
now. I
Europe
bet
is
you it's
easy for me,
5
like,
o'clock right now somewhere. This is where you actually says it's 5 o'clock somewhere really means something, right?
Oh, it really does. It really does.
Pretty close. Oh, it's 5 a.m. here. Does that count?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Rob.
Yo, Rob, how do you sleep? How do you sleep?
Oh
I
my!
see you
On my
on
back?
all sorts. Oh my god! No, I mean like I see you on all sorts of shows at all hours, and I don't know how you do it. I do.
Romanian time.
I only sleep about 4 or 5 hours a day, typically. But that's on the weekends. I think I get an extra hour, and I go 6. But
I'm
I
envisioning Lee hitting every
and that
every click.
that doesn't necessarily count the time that I go sit in my recliner and try to watch TV, and I fall asleep in my recliner. My recliner is pretty much it encompasses me and caresses me.
I
Second
look
bed.
forward to the possibility of sitting in your recliner
Yeah,
and
nobody
then
sits in my
getting
recliner.
sick.
Although it's like last night was tough though because I fell asleep. My wife wanted to watch Ahsoka. I put it on for her, and I was going to rewatch episodes 4 and 5 with her. And
That's a quality partner, Rob. That's a quality partner.
I fell asleep while she watched it, and then I woke up as the 5th episode ended, and as I go, oh, I said, all right, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I think we're going to go to bed because I got to get up in 3 hours to join Mark or whatever. And thankfully, the CPAP really helps you knock you out real fast and get some quality sleep in.
God fucking damn it. I really hate this part of playing guitar. I wish that strings would never break and never get rusty or old, and they would just stay fucking good.
That's how I feel about my body.
Me too.
All of us in the 40 up crowd. It's a dangerous life.
Sorry, I'll mute that for you.
Oh,
Mike.
Welcome,
Really?
Justin.
oh no.
The 40
Justin
and up
says, "Speak
crowd.
for yourself."
Who said speak for yourself?
I'm in my prime, my Optimus
Speak-
Prime.
Listen,
Speaking for
I
yourself,
know
what did y'all think of the Aquaman trailer yesterday?
it was fun.
We haven't
I
even touched-
liked the second half. The first half I wasn't feeling.
It was mid.
Was it that long, Lizzie? That it has
It
halves?
is, dude. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It's a long trailer.
Yeah.
So
pretty
was
much.
the finale good?
The
They said
finale was
good-
great. Seeing it's the Black Manta stuff I thought was really cool. Up to the when we see Ocean Master, that's when I think it picks up. This whole thing of him having a baby and he has the suit on a hanger because he's doing laundry. I don't need to see that.
Now, I like the idea that his kid's in it because his kid's a huge part of that character.
Mhm.
But the part with it, the laundry hanging, like that was the only like calls for pause I had was the humor aspect, which the first one has plenty of like lightheartedness to it. But I think
Why
I'm
does
just
he
so
need to
cautious
dry a
because
suit
of,
that's
like,
going to go in the water?
the Marvel camp, you know. So I'm like super scared of humor and stuff because of how overly campy so much has
Mhm.
got.
I haven't read a lot of Aquaman. Does he have a kid in the comic books?
Yeah,
Yes,
like
he was
he
murdered
had
by
a
Black
son,
Manta.
his son gets murdered by Black Manta. He loses his hand.
Spoilers. Jeez.
Yeah,
And
it
currently
looks
he
like they're
has
going to
a
go hard in
daughter-
that story.
Yeah, currently he has a daughter named Andy, and Jackson Hyde is like her like guardian kind of thing. Like there's so many different angles that they can go with bringing
Okay.
like, dude, Jackson Hyde could be in this movie. You know how badass that would be if they bring Jackson into
Jackson
this
Hyde?
movie. He's like
Aquaman
like the
2?
new Aqualad. Like, have you ever watched Young Justice?
Okay.
Mhm.
Like he's badass. He does like the water construct weapons.
Hard
He's
water
got, like,
constructs.
yeah, and he's Black Manta's son. Like Black
He's
Manta has
Aquaman, I
a
mean,
son with an Atlantean. Like it's dude, there's
Yeah.
so much they can do with this. Like it,
But
I
that's
don't
the
know,
thing.
I'm
This
excited.
is supposed to be the last movie, right? So
Yeah.
pretty much they probably told James Wan, do whatever the f you want to do, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
So there was like I don't know if y'all remember, but like there's stuff that's been announced and canceled was a Trench movie.
The Trench, they're in the movie.
A Jackson Hyde HBO Max property. I don't know if it was going to be a show or a movie, but that got announced briefly. And James Wan already came out and said that some of this stuff that they were going to do for the Trench movie, some of those themes and elements got brought over into
Mhm.
this movie. So
Yeah.
there's going to, I think this is going to be pretty big. I'm
I was
Got to read the
excited.
Jeff Johns run.
I was really
Listen.
looking forward to the Trench movie. That Trench part of the first one was my favorite part of it. So hopefully there's more of it in this one. It was cool.
Listen, Patrick Wilson already sold me on this movie. That is a good looking 50-year-old man.
It is so funny how they're making him look just like the comic book version of Aquaman to the point that it's identical. He's like perfect. He would have been perfect as the comic book version of Aquaman.
Yeah. Patrick
You know what I
Wilson
mean?
would. I like how they took him to the old side of Atlantis and put him in prison in the desert where he's drying up. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool. See, and that was some of the stuff that I liked the most about the first one is what they did with the story. It felt like Indiana Jones superhero, how they were globe hopping, trying to
Yeah.
solve an ancient history mystery. And I mean, it was just so fun. It was just such a like it checked off all the boxes. It was serious, it was action packed, it had a good story, it
It had
drama
good
in it.
world building.
Yes, dude. Like I
Which-
think that this is going to be a blast, dude. The visuals were insane in the first one. You already see they're bringing back all that liveliness and the colorful aspect of Atlantis and the
Well,
just the style of
I
the vehicle.
remember Mark
Seeing
was
that
excited
that
about the
yellow
Flash movie
submarine
too,
with the
so.
tentacles and stuff,
Mhm.
like it looked cool.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. I think overall, I think the movie with James Wan, he's gonna do what he wants to do because I'm almost certain they're gonna be like, do what you want. The seahorse, yes, the seahorse.
Yeah, they
That was
upgraded the seahorse. Now it's blue.
They made the
In case you all
seahorse
weren't
look
here
badass.
earlier, I just want to take this opportunity to remind you that Comics Curing Cancer is coming up. Make sure you get your own Comics Curing Cancer merch at fatstacksmerch.com. You can get the entire lineup of 2023 merchandise gear for Comics Curing Cancer, and all of it, that some proceeds will go to Comics Curing Cancer. Thank you.
This is the last DCEU movie. This is it. This is a wrap. This is
the
end
final.
of an era, a very, very rough era.
But like, aren't some of these like? Isn't this and Blue Beetle technically supposed to still be in canon?
No.
So Blue Beetle, the idea behind Blue Beetle
that happens before
Yeah.
James Gunn stuff is supposed to be in canon. Like what they did with
Yeah.
Blue Beetle, how it kind of stands on its own. They didn't have Batfleck in it, or they didn't show Henry Cavill. Like they intentionally kept everything out of it. So if you want to pretend later, if it succeeded, they can bring this actor and
Yep.
his story and his
They could
family into the
shoehorn it in.
DCU. Or it can get in where it fits in. They have that ability to, and they still haven't confirmed or announced any actors at all for the DCU stuff, other than Amanda Waller. I think that's pretty much it.
Listen, I'm so disappointed with the handling of this. Like, I just can't anymore. I'm like, well, we'll see.
It's one of those situations that has been through so many corporate heads that it's just a mess. And that's why when James Gunn's come in, it's like, you know what? Refresh. And it's not like we're going to be out of DC movies. We're going to have some. It's not going to be DC EU movies. Like the next movie we're supposed to be seeing is the Joker movie. That's supposed to be the next one that follows. But that's outside of continuity. Matt Reeves' Batman, I haven't heard much about that. Is that supposed to be happening soon?
Yeah, they just
Batman
confirmed
2 is
last
still
week
happening.
that Robin is supposed to be in it in some way, shape, fashion, or form. I don't know about in costume or what, but
Yeah.
Clayface and Robin were the last announcements for it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Austin.
But I'm certain
Tyler
that's
said
got to be.
the only thing that is canon is George Clooney's Batman. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I need it.
Bring back the bat nips.
Yeah, as bad as that movie was, I don't think George Clooney was like a terrible Batman.
I don't think George Clooney was a bad Wayne.
Yeah, I think
Batman.
I think Val Kilmer was a lot worse.
Val Kilmer was a fantastic Bruce Wayne.
Not as good as George Clooney. Come on.
I don't think there's ever
I
been
don't know. But you know what? I felt like, I guess Val Kilmer's script gave his Bruce a better opportunity to shine.
I think Val Kilmer's main problem is when he puts on the mask, everyone will see his lips and be like, "I know your lips. I know who you are." He's got those big lips that are recognizable. You know.
Well, again, as a connoisseur of men, I have to agree with you.
A connoisseur, no less. Look at you, you fancy bastard.
I'm gonna know those lips. I'm gonna know his time zone. I'm gonna know everything.
Oh my. So I'm okay. I'm definitely gonna see it. It's not to say I'm not gonna see it, and I'm happy that it's coming out this year rather than next year, because I was worried that was gonna get pushed out, but it looks like they just want to push it in or pull it in. Is probably the best word.
I wonder if there's still a chance it could get delayed because of the strike.
I don't think so. I think the movie's done, so I don't think they care so much. I'll be honest. I think they just want to get it out of the way. There's a movie coming out. Because besides, the more they delay stuff, the more they won't have stuff. So this is one of those movies that I think we got it. It's out. It's coming out. Whether it does well, whether it doesn't, I don't think they care as much.
And there's one of those things of like that reboot that they announced really just tanked everything they had this year. And to be fair, a lot of stuff that wasn't even comic oriented or related tanked as well. Turtles didn't perform, Mission Impossible didn't perform, Transformers, nothing didn't perform as expected except for Barbie and Oppenheimer and Mario.
And I'm sure those were all fantastic surprises, by the way.
So all the things that were successful were not sequels. If you look at it from that perspective, so people want something fresh. People want the only one that wasn't a sequel that failed was Blue Beetle in that way. But I think it
Blue
was
Beetle's
because
not even done yet. Lee,
it was
is Blue
attached
Beetle
to
released
DC.
over there yet, Lee?
We haven't got Blue Beetles or Turtles yet.
When does Blue Beetles release over there?
17th, 2 days. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
okay.
both of them come out around that time.
Well, the
Blue
Turtles is
Beetle
going
has
on
this
digital.
weird, delayed release schedule. There's a couple of other large markets, not just Australia, that it hasn't released in yet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
So it's very
because
weird.
these stupid fucking school holidays that they wait for so dumb parents can take their fucking shitty kids to movies. Does anyone know if Amber Heard's still in Aquaman?
She's in it
What
for
is
a
it?
hot second. Amber Heard.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
in it.
She's in the
But then-
trailer for 1 second. There's been also one photo that Entertainment put out like 3 months ago with her, and James Wan spoke on it, like where the first one was more of a romantic adventure with him and Mira. This one is more of a bromance with him and Orm. So she's not in it much, just naturally. And I think they also cut back some of the scenes that she was just to reduce it some more.
Yeah, they'll probably kill her off.
Yeah, I think they probably gave a lot of her action sequences to Aquaman's mother.
Yeah.
I don't
Say
think
what
she's
you-
making it out alive.
Yeah. Say what you
She
will
may
about
not, but I
that,
bet she's gonna go down a badass.
I didn't mind her as Mira at all. I
No,
thought
she did fantastic as Mira.
Yeah. I did.
I can't believe the way people came out and like crapped all over her in the 1st movie. I was like, she wasn't a problem.
She crapped. She crapped.
Yeah,
in the
exactly, right? But like, no, but then they took that to crap on her. You know? So,
I
I don't
look at
think
it.
they did. They didn't crap on her till the drama with her and Johnny
And
Depp.
Johnny Depp.
no, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
All of a
that's-
sudden, during that whole period, all of a sudden it was like, oh, she was no good as Mara. Anyway, I was like, I beg to
Fine.
differ. I may not like what has gone down here with her and Johnny Depp, but I'll defend her. You know what's sad? Yesterday I was defending Ezra Miller's acting. I was like, listen, I'm like, Ezra Miller is problematic AF, but did a phenomenal job playing two Barrys in that movie. Like, I can't take that away from Ezra Miller. It's upsetting as everything else is. Like, it's really hard to like maintain.
My whole thing with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is pretty easy. Like if the crackhead couple down the street that are getting high and arguing for the past 5 years straight instead of leaving each other get into an argument, I don't give a shit about either of them. And that's how I am about Amber and Johnny, because they were both shot out idiots in a toxic relationship.
Exactly.
That didn't have their shit together. They just thrived on fighting with each other. They're both terrible fucking people, and I will love to see Johnny in the next Pirates movie, and I can't wait to see Amber.
You might see him in Beetlejuice.
And I don't give a shit what they do when they're not on screen.
Yeah. I think Amber got a lot of shit, and I reckon Johnny should have got as much shit, just as much as she did. Like you said, they're both
people listen to those deposition trials and we're like, Johnny's a good person. Dude, this guy's terrible too.
He's fucking the worst, man.
The only thing he didn't do was crap in the bed. That's literally the only thing.
Yeah. Aggressively relaxing said it quite perfect here. He ain't mad at Amber Heard. Who among us can say that they would put their best foot forward while trying to keep up with Johnny Depp drugs consumption? That's like right on the money for sure.
And like and even the entire cast and crew of that last Pirates movie were talking about how difficult he was. He would come in drunk on set and shot out, not knowing his lines at all. They had the entire cast had to carry him through that last one, and she was living with him.
She was wearing a wig. I didn't know she was wearing a wig. And what?
She was wearing a wig. Yeah, it was a wig.
And what on the
in Aquaman?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was her
realize.
hair. Yeah,
I didn't realize. I'm not too good at pointing out wigs. I don't have any hair, just like Rob. So,
I got a little bit. I got something going on here.
It's all thin on top now, so I just like fuck it. Let's just do a Rob fat stacks and shave it all off.
So what I've been doing for years.
50 years.
Close to it seems.
You must be like 53.
Rob was born looking this way.
No, I was born in the 70s, so I had fabulous hair for a short period. For a very short, there's a very small window in my life where pictures exist with very wide lapels, plaid, and a full freaking disco.
You had that hair that you could only find in like a Lord of the Rings movie or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But solidly by the time
I just picture it like an elf or something like that.
by the time we moved into the 80s, it was all flat top, and I wore a flat top the rest until I tried growing my hair out.
Rob with a flat top. Wow, the imagery.
I love
Rob flat stacks.
I love my flat top. And then when I started working in rock radio, I tried growing my hair out, and it came in like Friar Tuck. And I said, well, forget that. I'll just shave my head. And every once in a while, I tried growing my hair out since then to try to like get my flat top again. And I realized how little comes in top. I realized I can't do a flat top anymore. So I said, forget it.
Don't you just love when you see people still working on their hair? It's completely bald on top, but yet they're still trying to grow it outward.
Yeah, no, I give up on that.
Listen, I gotta respect their commitment. All right, you know, like they want to rock. Look at you with another dog. Look at this.
I was just lucky that I was blessed with a head that looks good shaved. There's a lot of people who have that shave their head that you look at their head, you go, ooh, no. You might want to consider getting a hairpiece or something. But at least I didn't get a pointy head or something with some weird crater or something else. So
of course. Okay, I'm sorry, but Mark, who is dog number 2? Why do they all have bow ties? I have so many questions.
After seeing the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
I said, who is dog number 2? What's with the bow ties? I have so many questions.
That's Nugs.
Nugs.
His name's Snuggles. Nugs for short. We got.
Oh my God! So you have Abe and Snugs. Oh, yeah. And the little bow ties are adorable. Who got the bow ties?
Scott. His name was Riff Raff.
Yeah, that's me.
I appreciate you. I love the bow ties.
Look, before his haircut and after.
Look at that. What a good boy. Oh.
Wait, the before and after photos, like the before he looked so happy, the after is like, what did you do to me?
There's a turtle too.
Oh, look at
that. I didn't know
he doesn't have a bow tie. What's up with that?
Is that Raphael?
He has a side.
So, like, when we got, dude, like, this is a rescue turtle because nobody owns a pet that's not a rescue. And, yeah, dude, it's such a point of contention.
So my
for
wife.
Me.
She's
so
a rescue.
This is the only actual rescue turtle or rescue pet in the house. I took this out of a cat's mouth when he was about this big. And he had a hole in his shell from where the cat started chewing on him. You can see his organs and stuff. So I'm like, yo, I can't just leave him in the wild. I need to, like, so he kind of protected him and got him back up to the snuff.
Can we get a full screen on that turtle, please?
And yeah, I've had turtles my whole life, like literally my whole life.
Full screen, please.
Full screen. And I was going through watching all the TMNT movies with Finn. So Finn named him Dude, and it wasn't that he named him that. He just didn't have a lot of words back then, so he just kept saying Dude.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's awesome.
There we go.
And then Kyle's coming with the other one.
Check him posing there. He's like, yeah. This is...
Oh my God.
Oh.
You don't have to spin him so fast.
Say hi to your fan.
And the dogs want to eat him.
Of course.
I got 2.
This show has it all, man. Comics, cooking, turtles. Love it.
Right? There's one thing we don't have.
Ringo
award winner.
Oh,
we don't have. Oh, wait. Before Justin got cut off with the leg, what did you say?
Damn, Rob. But savage comment of the day goes to Rob.
That was great. That was wow.
I didn't even process that thought. It flowed so fast out my mouth. I never even processed what I said until afterwards. I love you, buddy.
At least someone does. At least someone does.
You're the winner.
I don't have a pet. I don't have a rescue pet. I paid thousands of dollars for this raccoon with a pedigree.
I will say this one thing. So when the award ceremony was over, I see Justin. So how did you go? And he says, "I lost." And he just went off. Like, I guess we're not seeing him again.
That's okay, Justin. You know, you'll live in my heart for Over the Ropes.
You know, number 6 in your program, but number 1 in your heart.
Hey, all I know is I got that beautiful Justin Birch signature on 2 comic books.
Verified.
Well, only verified on 1. The other one is witnessed. It's got a Fat Stacks seal of authenticity, and that is worth more than the verification from CBCS because Justin has no idea how the fuck they certified and verified his signature.
So Justin, if you send something over to CGC or CBSI, can you verify your own signature?
That's a great question.
He could if he was set up with them.
Yeah, you have the paperwork. I know that part.
Yeah.
But imagine he sends something out. Hey, I signed it, and then it's like, and
Yeah, exactly. Well, but
actually, let's test this theory. I'll sign something differently and see if it still gets verified by CBCS.
yeah, you actually sign it.
Someone else has
lettering
to
it.
submit it, not you.
Well, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, if Justin actually signed it, that might confuse him because the 2 books I have, he's lettered his name, as you would expect.
Maybe that's where I'm going wrong.
No.
If I had signed it, I probably would have won Ringo.
Who knows? You could have gone with some really weird name like Silver or Gold or something, and people still get authenticated somehow. That's a joke for those of you guys who aren't in the inn. My copy of Parallel, which Justin was the amazing letterer on, helped me to get it to have the only triple signed copy in existence, apparently. Signed by the letterer, the artist, and the writer. And the artist used the name Silver when signed it. Although his name is what? I can't remember.
It is Adam. Adam Ferris.
Yes, that's right. Adam Ferris. But he signed it Silver. And drew little silver foxtail coming off of it. I don't know. Is he an older gentleman?
He is not. Well, sometimes he does go by the name Duke Silver.
Oh, I thought maybe with the foxtail, like he was trying to say that he's like a silver fox, but
I see Austin is sending something out, so we could test that theory with Austin.
Oh, it's my book too. I can't wait. That fucking if you haven't seen it, and go check his Instagram. He did this amazing Sweet Tooth.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I saw it.
I watched the video on his YouTube channel. It's amazing. You should definitely go check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe. Things are only there for a short period of time, so if you go there and don't see any videos, don't be alarmed by that. But definitely subscribe to Austin LeMay.
I'm so excited for that book.
I just saw the Sweet Tooth. It's dope.
It is, right? It's
got the bow and arrow. I love it. Or the bow, that is.
It's signed by Jeff Lemire as well. Jeff Lemire, I don't know if I've ever said this ever.
There you
Jeff
go.
Lemire is my favorite creator of all time.
Justin, it says, Flash Ray says that you should have me sign one as Justin Birch, and then you sign one and send them both in to see if they get verified. Watch, mine gets verified and Justin's gets.
That would be very appropriate, wouldn't it?
That's right. They go, oh well, this one letter's far better.
No. I don't want to bash Justin like this.
Who said which one was? No, I said just one letter's better. It doesn't. It didn't say that. It didn't say that I was the one who lettered better. They could have rejected the one that lettered better.
But my telepathy was giving it away.
Just you. I'm glad that you could read up on my subliminal messages, but that's not what I said.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, you're a man, so I know your time zone, your subliminal signals. Like,
there's not a lot of subtext to me. I don't know what you're talking about. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor.
Oh, we watched Popeye last week for my show.
Well, there you go. Nice.
That was a good show, by the way.
I wasn't there.
My favorite of I still have like of all the things he says for whatever reason. There's one that was always stuck in my mind, and I still go. It's like when back in the day when because he'd always used to eat the spinach and he'd flex and he'd get like the little animation that would go on. There was one I remember one time where he just said, "His puppets, I I need some, or he was winded and he needed to get some spinach. And he's like, oh, I need some fuel for my mule, some gas for me ass, because he's like he had a mule that he was like bringing. It was like exhausted or something, I guess, and it was just for I need some fuel for my mule and some gas for me ass.
From the ass.
All the time now, like that gets uttered around this house, especially when you get the gas. Oh,
Hey, Cliff,
Yeah.
I have that
yes.
person somewhere.
Cliff, I wanted to ask you a question. I saw that the Council of Comics scheduled a stream, and it also came up on your channel too. Do you stream on both Council of Comics channel and your channel at the same time, the same stream?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. How does that go for you? Is it good?
I don't like my channel is like just for me, and I don't care. Like, just drop in, say hello, like my videos, comment. Whatever.
I'll tell you, Lee. Last night we had this going on because Naman was streaming, and then Tylox was also had gone in. He clicked the stream to my channel as well. And at first, because I don't think I had notifications for Naman, I ended up in Tylox's channel, and I was one of like 3 people on Tylox's channel, and I'm like chatting, and everybody in StreamYard, the chats from multiple points all come in. So people on StreamYard, you can see it all, but the people in the individual chats, they cannot see each other, and so they're like acknowledging people and stuff, and I'm like, what are they freaking seeing? And then at the same time, the other people in the other room, they're like, when I was chatting, they're like, oh, where's Rob? We don't see Rob. What are you talking about? And it wasn't until like we realized, first of all, that these chats are like disjointed, so people can't see each other interact. But also, the problem is in the Tylox was skimming, the viewers that were in his channel. Those were viewers and view hours for him, as opposed to viewers and view hours for the main channel. So it skims. So it skims off of that, and then it bifurcates the communication. So there can be.
Rob, you've just convinced me to kill my channel.
Well,
No,
there's
videos. I watched a couple
things
of your videos and enjoyed them. But
there's some things that would be fun to do that with potentially. Like, so there might be a reason to do it with Comics Curing Cancer potentially, but at the same time, it's like I'm not a big fan of it for the most part. I can't, I don't think that until they can figure a way where at least the chats can see each other.
Do you know if on StreamYard you can tell what channel the comments are coming from? Does it?
Naman seemed to say that he could identify. I wasn't in the StreamYard at the time when they were coming in to see it myself and look, and I don't enable that feature to have a stream somewhere else. So
it takes a little work, but you can kind of figure it out. It's more obvious when it's a Facebook comment versus a YouTube comment. And that's the thing. Even if I decided not to stream to my channel, like we're still getting the Facebook input too. So
no, you can do it. You can see who's who. The only thing is that sometimes Facebook, you won't know the who's sending the message. So it'll just say Facebook user. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, because I mostly stream all the time on my Monday show.
Yeah, we stream on Twitch as well. We don't really get much views on Twitch. Sometimes we get a random person that'll drop in, and maybe they'll stay for a couple minutes or stay for the whole show. But I think it's always like worth it to stream on Twitch.
I think streaming to different platforms like that is one thing versus splitting on multiple YouTube channels, right? I think it's different. It's like because people who want to set up where we're streaming here to YouTube and Facebook. People have certain ones that they gravitate towards, and that's what they watch and consume on, or they don't even participate in one or the other, and that's fine if you want to maximize your audience that way. You're always going to have still that chat issue, but hey, that's not the big deal. But I think that's when you go, hey, we're going exclusively YouTube. Like if I took only slabs and we split it between myself and Chris's channel that was feeding it, I don't think that we're going to gain more than maybe one viewer. But instead we create problems where the chat's not together, that we're not getting the the views on on the show aren't getting the same views on the show, and so it doesn't get pushed in the post live environment the same. There's all kinds of different other ramifications that come out of it for us potentially.
I just wanted to address Trev's comment here. He said, "Oh shit, that's late. Isn't that Iggy's picture?" It is Iggy's picture, but that's because Iggy's my dad. I mean, they look exactly the same.
Oh, it is true. They do look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Hello there to Black Box Comics coming in and joining us. Black Box Comics making a beautiful donation of some items there to Comics Curing Cancer, which in case you guys didn't pay attention or catch it earlier, I said Comics Curing Cancer, yes, coming up October 23rd to 22nd. Make sure that you are ready for that event. We are still collecting donations for that. If you have items that you want to send in to help us reach our goal of $25,000, which we plan on smashing, but hey, it's a goal.
And show them the mug, Rob. And to be clear, as of right now, if you want to help and you're not able to donate by sharing out or shopping the Comics Curing Cancer merch, you can already be supporting the cause and be prepared to be wearing all this branded shit when the event comes.
Yep. I haven't announced what I'm going to do yet. I think I can do it now for this show here. If we get to 25,000, which is the goal, I'm going to shave my beard off. But the more enticing goal, I reckon, because we smashed last year's goal, and I reckon we can smash this year's goal again. So if we get to 30,000, I'm going to wax off my eyebrows too.
Okay,
wow.
That's commitment there.
That eyebrows is, I would like to see that happen.
Yeah, so if we get 30,000, the beard's gone, and I'm gonna wax off my eyebrows. I'm already bald.
Keep a small
Shave your
mustache.
beard like every 3 months or so, anyways.
I haven't
like a
shaved my
small
beard
mustache.
in over a year, and I've been a bit attached to my beard now.
Okay, we're not attached to it. Your eyebrows, though.
It's attached to you, though.
Yeah. And I think
what did you say? The beard comes off at 25.
Yeah, the beard comes off at 25. The eyebrows get waxed off at 30. And
nice.
I think that's more like last year we got a stupid haircut and it was easy to hide. I went to work and just put a hat on.
Yeah, going in with no eyebrows is going to stand out.
I can't hide
that. From powder.
Yeah, I'm going to be
wearing really big sunglasses.
Yeah,
I love this level of commitment.
With, no eyebrows until they grow back. So, yeah, we're going to get that 30K. I reckon we could do it this year as a community.
Help us do that. Hey,
you
Mark,
might get 35 with that message. With that,
do you have the graphic?
I'm gonna make a little picture to post around. I wanted to get you guys on for a show on Whack Comics to talk about it, but I thought, why not talk about it here? I really do think we can smash 30K this year. And, I would love to walk around with no eyebrows for a good while. Because when you wax hair off, it takes a lot longer for it to grow back too. So it's going to be...
Go ahead and wax one of your eyebrows just to show us as an example of what we can look forward to.
No. No. I'm going to do them when it comes to 30K. I'm not going to do them for anything less. I think 30K is a good number. To wax off my eyebrows. I've been trying to convince Tyler to do it with me. I haven't quite got him there yet, so it might just be me. But if we can, as a community, try and convince Tyler, just drop subtle hints. Hey, at least wax at his eyebrows if we get 30K. What do you do?
All right, so let's go around the horn. Cliff, what are you waxing if we hit 30K?
Oh, baby, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
You don't want to know my. You don't want to know my
question.
waxing and bleaching regime. What is with you people? Don't you know? You just go right into the hornet's nest.
You go right into the manscaping right there.
Oh my God, we're gonna go.
The weed whacker.
I don't know if you want that information, Mark. You need your wife's permission because I ain't that kind of home wrecker.
I'll just get Lee to check in for me when you go to Australia.
I don't have any Australian. Actually, no, I have one Australian dude, but he's in Queensland. Lee, where are you at?
I'm in Queensland as well.
Oh my God, you are! I may have to go to Australia.
What up? Let's go.
Oh my God, with extra suntan lotion.
I'm coming to America next year. I'm finally coming to America next year. Going to go to Heroes Con. And
you coming?
I'm coming.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I heard that last night.
I'm planning to
From the
I'm
recliner?
planning to be in America for a good month, so I want to travel around a bit while I'm there. I think anything less than a month is not going to be worth it, you know. So I want to be there for
That
a
makes
month and
sense.
go
Well, you
around
know,
New York and everywhere else and shit.
I think that if you come out, if you start at Heroes Con in
Yep.
mid-June and you stay for a month, that means that you'd be leaving right around mid-July, which means you might be able to catch the barbecue.
Yeah, nice, nice.
Mm.
And
Ooh.
when you know, while we're over there as well, it's going to be the 4-year anniversary of Whack Comics. So Tara and I can celebrate the 4-year anniversary of Whack Comics, doing this shit together in person. We've never met, and it's going to be great to finally hang out with him. I think he said he's going to try and take like 2 weeks off work, so we're going to travel around together for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Well, manage your
then he's gonna go-
expectations because Tyler's only okay.
So-
yeah, he's all right.
That's
He's
awesome.
all right.
They got good chemistry. They can handle each other. It's fine. I just want to know. So you know what? Let me go find out what my beautiful young boo is doing in Australia, because he works for Australian Airlines, and let's see if I can make a connection, and you can bring my sexy back with you. And
Let's do it.
That's what Lee does all the time. Lee brings sexy back. He's,
I mean, let's keep it a thing.
they wrote that song about Lee. Actually, it's a true story.
So, sorry.
Hold on, just before you go, Justin, I do want to tie this in because I had this segue set up. I just had to grab the clip.
Well, you
So,
lost it now.
As Lee was saying, to help us get those goals, you know, don't forget, if you didn't catch the announcement, we have the Unnatural Order #1. We're going to have the Comics Curing Cancer exclusive with cover art by Matt Wilson, with the books donation. The books were donated by the Comic Mint. So that way, as we sell these, when these go available, we will be able to take 100% of the sale price of the book will be going to Comics Curing Cancer. It's going to be a limited print run of 250 issues. Hopefully, all of them will be undamaged, so we can sell all 250 of them, and that'll be a big boost to us here at Comics Curing Cancer. So keep listening. Follow at Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram to pay attention when the sale date when they go on sale, and where you'll go to pick up your own copy of Unnatural Order #1, the C3 exclusive.
Is that Matt Wilson, the colorist Matt Wilson? No,
He's the artist.
He probably colors.
He
I've
colors.
seen
No,
Matt Wilson
he
color.
he does paint work, a lot of paint work. So.
DJ knows him.
I know him.
It's the guy who did his Dead End cover.
Hey, you guys want to know something else about that book?
Did you?
Letter it?
No way.
That's it. The price just went up.
The Ringo nominated letterist on that book.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
Well, we know that
This
on
might be the one that actually gets you that Ringo.
Our copy, we know Matt Wilson has promised to sign copies for free if people bring them to him. JB, would you also be willing to sign copies for free of the C3 exclusive if they brought
I
them
think
to you?
Rob should sign them as Justin.
I will pay you
To
for
let
my
you sign.
signature.
All right, I'm gonna jump out. It's 11:30 here. We got Oz Comic Con
All right.
tomorrow, and I've got a
Take it
media
easy, brother.
pass. I'm gonna go make some videos and shit with it and have some fun.
Great
Like
great
it-
video with Gem Mint, by the way, Lee.
Oh, thanks,
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Flash
That was a
Raid
lot
My
of fun.
Barbecue definitely always happens. It's always the third Saturday of July.
Awesome. See you later, everyone. It was good to hang with you, and I love you. I love you heaps, Mark. I got
Take it easy,
to
Lee.
come on with you more.
I love you heaps, Lee. I miss you. I miss your scent.
I can't wait to hug you at Heroes Con and hold you.
Yeah,
for a
I'm
long
a big
time.
hugger.
Oh my god, I can't wait for Heroes Con. Ooh,
I will tell you that
I'm gonna have 3 cameras.
Mark is a 3-limb hugger.
I am.
Oh, I've got
I'm very-
more
I'm
than
very
3 limbs.
excited that Heroes Con has now become the linchpin of this little piece of the community's get together. Took
Fuck
some
yeah.
time, but having gotten DJ, Nick, and Rob on board last year, I feel like that's what pushed it over. This is now the official linchpin of our community little arm. I mean, they can't imagine how big it's going to be this next year.
Our sphere,
After
yeah.
last year, like it's just only going to get bigger. It's only going to get bigger.
Yeah,
Speaking
I
of
can't wait.
DJ, there he is right now. Joining the
DJ
chat,
Links.
Mr. DJ Links. We just talked about the Unnatural Order #1, the great exclusive.
That one.
That one
Yes.
right there. You see an image of Rob Fatstacks, Mark, and DJ Links, but we don't know which is which.
I'm on the.
Well.
If you're looking at it from this way, I'm on the back left,
Okay.
the right hand of Rob, because I get dirty.
Ooh.
We're all just a little bit horny.
Just the way it is. Yeah, that's a good point, Rob. Everyone is a little horny on that cover.
That's right.
I love that. We're like up. I'm finishing my coffee. Lee's like, yeah, I gotta go to bed.
It'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow over there in 30 minutes.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, Flash. Right. If you're only an hour and a half away, man,
Yeah.
you got hardly any excuse.
He prefers you not to RSVP. Just show up.
That's not true.
That's very true. Don't listen to what Rob says. You know you can't believe that guy.
Oh, great googly moogly.
He won't
So I
even
was
admit that there's a reprints behind
So,
him.
so check this out. I was looking through some of my collections and I found this.
What? Do you collect TV guides, man?
No, I don't collect TV guys. I just happen to keep some. But look at this
Well,
one.
yeah, I don't collect comics. I just happen to keep some.
I'm not a hoarder. I just happen to keep stuff.
No, but these. Come on, man.
How about you, Justin? Do you collect statues, or do you just happen to keep some?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I happen to keep some. I'm
See,
not
the
gonna,
fact
like,
that-
I don't go looking for them.
I
The
don't go
fact that
hunting.
you
No,
have pulled out
exactly.
you have pulled out 3 TV guides.
Wait.
that are
Wait. There's more.
Is that like a hollow? There's a hollow cover
Yeah,
TV
look.
guide. This is gimmick cover TV guides. They're in pristine condition. The fact that you have these
I
there,
don't know
that
if they're
shows us.
pristine.
That
Don't
one's
call
not
it
pristine.
pristine.
That's a little yellow and crusty there.
Just you ain't shit
Yeah.
unless you getting that graded.
My point being, is that's a
I'll
little
get
bit
Justin
more
to
than
sign it.
that's a little bit more than I happen to hang on to a couple. Yeah.
So you know, I used to get TV Guide every week as part of making
Take
sure
it
what I
easy
knew
there,
what
Mortal
TV.
Baby Shack.
But I kept the ones that interested me, like the wrestling ones or comic book. I just
He
kept them.
pressed them.
Yeah, this is pressing. Look at this one. So this is the WrestleMania that we shall not speak of.
Chris
So-
Benoit.
Yeah, look at that face, man.
I think he's gonna murder that bitch next to him.
Wow. Too soon.
Yeah. Well, but it's all right. Nobody's accused me of being appropriate.
How about this Ang Lee Hulk?
I like that one.
Right.
I would keep that one.
More with the hollow covers, man. What was TV Guide doing?
Trying to
They
sell.
needed-
Trying to get it. But how much were
Most-
the cover? How much did those cost?
$249.
And those were a weekly publication, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
$249.
because you had to know what was coming on TV. But yeah, I think back then, like at that point, like digital cable was at its infancy. Like you were having.
Well,
so,
no,
like,
not when Hulk came
Internet
out.
didn't.
2003?
Internet, no. Hulk
Internet
came
was in
out-
infancy in the 80s, my friend.
This
I
was
said digital
2003.
cable.
Oh, I meant cable, but sorry.
Digital cable was in its
So-
infancy.
All the
But
this is
what does
all of
digital
these are
have to do with anything?
2003.
That's when you could pull up the menu and the guide and see all the channels without going to the
Yeah,
the
but
rotary
before then we had the newspaper.
This.
Yeah,
It
but
sent
that
out-
was like
it
a
sent
slim,
out
that was
a-
like a super slim down.
Not
part
only
of it.
not only did you have the daily newsprint, but then you also would get a weekly insert for
Mhm.
free. So why would I need to buy the TV Guide?
Well,
Because
okay,
the TV, it
and
was a magazine as well.
I gotta
Yeah.
go
Oh, okay.
over.
For the articles, got it.
I was gonna say with to Legion's account, to Mark's account, right? Like at the era of Hulk coming out, they needed gimmick covers just to attract attention because we had channel guides, we had TV Guide channel, and before that, Rob, the stuff you're talking about did not cover the entire gambit of the newer cable channels of the time. You
I
know,
might
it
know
would
that because I was one of those kids that would like fiend to see what's coming on. Because I was
The
like,
chair
I was ready
recognizes
to see
DJ
all kinds of
Links.
movies
Check it
on
out.
TV that I wasn't allowed to watch, like the unedited tapes that
You're
my
out
dad
of
had.
order.
What's up, DJ?
I've recognized DJ.
Good morning, all. First
What's up, DJ?
and
DJ
foremost,
You're out of order. DJ has the floor.
finally, I've been waiting for somebody to recognize Chris Benoit in a proper way. And Izzy, I want to thank you, sir.
There you go.
Shout out
Look at
to
that.
Izzy,
There's a lot of Benoit in this image still. Look at
the
that.
number one Chris Benoit fan. But it's strange, he only became a huge Chris Benoit fan in the last 10 years.
I got that book. I went to WrestleMania. Did you go to WrestleMania, DJ?
Of course, I was WrestleMania,
I was
baby.
there. I was there.
This is better than the TV guide, though. So I won.
What's in that book?
That's
So
the
this is-
program.
Yeah, this is the actual program from WrestleMania 20 that I was at. So was Izzy.
Mhm.
My seats were probably better.
I don't got that DJ money. You know
Even
what I'm
back then, DJ was a baller.
saying?
Yeah,
Man, was that Chris Jericho
Rob,
in
you
there?
got controls. I'm walking
It
away
was
from
Jericho versus
You got 20
Christian
minutes.
Cage.
you know what? Let me just go through the whole thing.
Yeah, Jericho Cage.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you got that guy.
pre allegations.
No, that was during allegations. What are you
Luke
talking
Gordon.
about?
Madison Square Garden, just the history of Madison Square Garden. This is the WrestleMania
program.
1 card and then the WrestleMania 20 card.
Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd.
Yo, look
at
at
those
all.
guys.
That's
Yeah, look at Rey Mysterio.
crazy that he still works there and Jamie Noble's a producer.
He's like the only person.
Yep.
Rene Dupree, super
Wow.
underrated, man.
The
I love
Dudley
Rene
Boys,
Dude, RVD.
Booker T. You got
There's
the
a lot
the Rock and Stock versus Ric Flair and Batista.
Yeah, that was Rock's last match, so he came back just for that Rock and Sock program.
Yep. And they lost.
That's what John Cena won the U.S.
The
title
US
that night.
Yep, he got the spinner.
Big
That's when
shit.
people liked him. They
Yeah.
liked John Cena then.
I'll go on a limb and say, oh man,
Oh
so,
yeah.
King No Mask.
so this is funny. This is when Undertaker returned as the Dead Man. And Izzy, I don't know if you remember, but were there like kind of boos because it was like he wasn't in full like Dead Man regalia. He just had his duster and the
So-
hat.
Yeah, so he had the hat and he just came. He didn't have the
All right,
full
take me off. This shit is
look.
heavy.
He didn't have the whole look. He didn't have the whole Undertaker look. So yeah, but he came out with the drone, the druids, not the drone, the druids. That was cool.
Yeah, but then he still had his American Badass stuff on, just with the
He had
duster and the hat.
yeah,
It
he had
was
the
just
he
like,
had the tank top and the leather pants.
yo, everybody was just
I
like, what?
I need to ask a question. As you know, you said something about people actually like John Cena. Then when did they stop liking John Cena?
Oh no, there was a time John Cena was
Early on, he
hated.
didn't like him. Yeah, early on, he was not very.
So this was Thugonomics' version of John Cena, which was like, he was picking up steam. It was his first major title, and then he did the spinner belt, the first spinner belt, which is a U.S. title. But then he was just gaining momentum and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a super appreciation for John Cena. Like when you look at all these top guys, right? So you look at Austin, Rock, these dudes were on top for like 2-3 years. John Cena carried the entire company for 10 plus years. Even Hulk Hogan wasn't on top for that long. John Cena was the top guy for 10 plus years, which is insane.
Yeah.
Still can't see him though.
No, that's why when he wrestled the Miz the other day, you couldn't see him at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're watching Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's
Oh, here we
fantastic.
are. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nick's Kicks and Comics. How are you today, sir?
Good. I was just reminiscing when Fridays just used to be about comic book talk.
Well, we kind of been going through the gamut of stuff because it's community talk.
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, Rob.
It's the community hangout.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, look at that.
That is great. It is a great cut, but it's only second behind the Comics Curing Cancer 2023
I like
edition.
comics, beer, and maybe 3 people.
Yeah, I always have to remind people when they say, well, which 3 people? I say, oh, no. It says maybe 3 people, not necessarily that it's exactly 3 people.
3 people.
One
Rob,
of them
Is
is
one of them your
Benoit.
wife?
Oh, she's
Yeah,
probably
of
the
them's
only one.
Benoit.
I do I do love my wife very much.
Nice.
She lets me touch her.
Oh, that's love.
You can touch me anytime you want to, Rob.
Speaking of touching,
Sometimes-
what did everyone think of Ahsoka?
Proximity
episode
does
5?
play a
We have
role in things,
we
though,
have a good
Nick.
number of people here. Get some
All right, hold on.
feedback.
I'm because I'm gonna hop off. I literally just came on to show that tell you guys I love you guys in the mix tonight at 9 p.m. I got to get my ass back to work. I'll holla at
Oh,
you.
now get.
Love you, Links.
See you later.
Get out of here. Get.
Go on now, get.
DJ wasn't ringside. He was the referee. What are you talking about? That's how he was balling.
Izzy, what'd you think of Ahsoka episode 5?
I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot, especially everything. Spoiler. Our Anakin scenes were fantastic. I love when they would just constantly shift him from Anakin to Darth. I thought that was really cool effect, the way they made that work. So I really enjoyed it. Best episode for me.
Robert, you're a Star Wars guy. You're a Star Horse guy. What do you think?
I enjoyed it.
Intriguing.
No, I mean, look, I don't want to. It's still early in the week. I don't want to put any spoilers
No,
in
it's
there. But
not.
yeah,
It's been
look.
out for like almost 100 hours. Go for it.
Izzy's right. I mean, so what they did did a lot, I think, to help really kind of lay some better understanding for Anakin's fall. Right. Some of the things that Anakin talked about in there about how the pass down from, because Star Wars has always been about some of the Padawan and the master, the teaching down, and talking about how he learned from him that there's this legacy, right, of teachings, but the fact that Ahsoka was done in a time of war. And same thing, and of course, Anakin was very formative in that time of war as well too. That you see how that affected him and helped to push him to become, where he would ultimately fall to be.
What was it that he said to her, Rob? He was like, "I didn't train you to be a Jedi. I trained you to be
a soldier or a warrior or whatever."
Yeah.
And those were big things, because the Jedi were, up until that point, were peacekeepers. That's what she envisioned herself being, as opposed to being a warrior or stuff. And so that's where we get a lot of character transformation for her. But for him, it really helps to illustrate his quest for power, because if you go back to the trilogy, he kept saying that he wants to restore order. He wants to bring order to the galaxy, right? That's because in his mind, that's how you achieve peace, was through order. And so that was Anakin's big hang up, and why he went to the Empire, among other things, is that he felt that not only the betrayal of the Jedi Order itself, but he felt that would help. The best way that he could bring order and peace to the galaxy was through that. So it really helped to kind of fill in a lot of those different things, which I really, really enjoyed from that aspect and fleshing out. And I love the fact that Hayden Christensen gets a little bit of love, a little bit more respect, because, well, Mark's age may not have the same hate. Generation X had a lot of not nice things to say about Hayden Christensen's portrayal. Yeah. So
I think I just overanalyzed it in a way to its favor. Like I went in like having just kind of liked him on face. Like when I overanalyze the prequels, I'm doing it to their benefit, not like against it. So I find all the little things that explain like where it wasn't it's not a harsh performance for me. It's not an abrupt shift to the dark side. None of that. It's always made sense to me.
So Dave Filoni needs a Lifetime Achievement Award for course correcting episodes 1, 2, and 3, because that was a hell of an undertaking, and all restorations and improvements to that era, it's him.
So my question is, Rob, you probably know the answer to this one better than I don't know. Was this the first time we actually see a live action Clone Wars? I know it wasn't much.
Yes.
But was this the first time we actually see the Clone Wars live?
Yeah.
The opening of the Clone Wars in episode 2, you see it kick off live, and that's all we ever had.
Yeah, and then we see it. Well, we see it we see the wrap up of it in 3, because in the battle, because they open up on the ship with General Grievous, all stuff. That's all part of the Clone Wars, technically, but it's the end of it. So yes, it's the first time we see a live action of the middle. So some of those battles of it. Of course,
even though it's not much, it really isn't much. But
and we see them
start at the Coliseum like that because the clones came in as reinforcements, and then you see him finally kill Grievous and shut it all down.
And then we got to see the Siege of Mandalore, which of course is by then Ahsoka's out of there, and which is kind of, and we have Darth Vader, which is why the whole point of him saying I don't remember this battle and stuff, because he was at that point he was Vader and she was.
Yeah. Listen, if you enjoy that period of Star Wars and you have not watched the essential episodes of Clone Wars or Rebels, you have done yourself a disservice in Star Wars.
I'm on season 2 of Rebels.
Because I'm going through now and I'm watching the essential Clone Wars stuff, and I'm still amazed at how good it was.
Is that on a playlist on Disney Plus, or are you just like nitpicking?
I have a link, Mark. I'll send it to you. I send DJ the same one, but yeah, and I've just recently watched it, like within the past 2 or 3 years. I'm rewatching it again, and I'm still amazed at how good it was.
I like that Rex was in this new episode. He had a couple scenes and even one line of dialogue that was awesome.
I was happy with it. I gotta go. Work is starting soon, guys. It's been lovely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm not staying on long today. We just got all the Halloween decorations out, so we're set up for Halloween. Me and the wife are about to run up to the store without the kids and grab some more decorations. They want bats. No, they want bats, Izzy. You can eat candy corn. You can eat bats. I don't think anything bad has ever happened from eating bats. So we're going to get some bats for decoration. Everything's better than Boba Fett. Everything.
Yeah, Boba Fett was such a letdown.
Yeah. That was heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
How bad that show was.
Well, Mandalorian season 3 is not that great either. So.
Yeah, but it wasn't as heartbreaking as Boba Fett, because Boba Fett came directly after Mando season 2.
Well, the first 2 episodes weren't too bad of Boba Fett. The first 2. But then it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, I was scratching my head from the first episode. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Ozzy agrees, exactly. Exactly. Him coming out of the Sarlacc was fun, but everything else, I'm like, this is... I don't know. You can just see the writing on the wall with some stuff. You know what I mean? Like some people can.
To see that teaser with him and Shennick Fan on Boba on Jabba's throne at the end, it was like, oh man, I can't wait for this. And then we get it.
Yeah, instead of Boba Fett like running
the Vespa crew,
the Power Rangers, the Star Wars Tatooine Rangers.
Yeah.
It was rough, but yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Unless anyone's opposed, no, Rob's about to head to Romania. Hope everyone tunes in tonight for In the Mix, 9 p.m. on DJ Link's channel. We'll be doing something. DJ hasn't released the agenda yet, so who knows what'll happen.
I'm sure you'll talk about some more Ahsoka and some Aquaman. There'll be a little bit of that.
Just because you said that, I hope you avoid it. Justin, what are you working on?
Just my life.
Hell yeah, good job. Good luck on it. You got 1 year to tighten up.
Gotta work on that Ringo Award for next year.
You got 1 year to tighten up.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Izzy's brutal.
It's too late for me.
I still love him.
That's probably true.
Moved on.
That's probably true.
Just remember, you have an AF-15.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can just look at that and everything will be okay.
I do have an AF-15.
He's planning on selling
and an X-Men #1.
Oh yeah,
I think,
one of those.
I think what you should do
can hold
is
them both like this and go.
When it's time to do the nominations, maybe you should send images of you holding both books to all the people that are voting, and just kind of like what Rob does to get the 1,500, right? Shows the 2 Spider-Man books. Just do the same thing.
That everyone who votes for you's name is entered in a raffle for that X-Men 1.
And then you don't give it.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no way for me to tell who.
That's
Like,
the best
Well,
part.
you can just
Yeah.
you can gift it. You can let your wife be the winner. Like my wife won.
You traded for the sandwich.
There you go.
She's the best. She's the best.
All right. I hope everyone has a great day. I'll see everyone Sunday night for Out Weeks. And take it easy.
We're Legion.